Greetings and good day. How are you all today? I'm starting right off the bat after I go live because I am currently in a call with Grantkirkland, and me and him are getting ready to continue our little race in Xcom 2. If you're new to the channel and you haven't already, you know what to do. There'll be a link to Grantkirkland's Twitch as well if you want to go check them out whenever they go live. We were in the middle of a conversation about Guilty Gear Strive, which is a game that Grantkirkland just recently purchased. So I'm going to unmute them and continue with that conversation. And I'm back.
Welcome back.
Sorry about that. Had to just really quickly start that up. So
I'm just on the loading screen. So you want me? I'm just waiting to click load.
Oh yeah, I'm on the loading screen as well. Let me just open the game again.
I have some good luck already. The game is showing me chrysalids.
Oh, great. It's showing me a little what are they called? Mutons. I'm ready to load when you are.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay,
All right.
So basically to finish up the story, Guilty Gear Strive is a very aggressive kind of play, so you get punished for backing up too much and stuff like that.
Okay.
So you get punished for some things and you have to figure stuff out. So what they added is if you put a lot of pressure in a person, words, I hate them. But if you put a lot of pressure against someone that's in the corner, basically what would happen is the wall would start cracking and then it would break and you would go to a new screen.
Oh, that's a little bit different from your average fighting game. Normally when you get up against the wall, you're kind of fucked. Yeah,
but it's also like have a reward for the person that got the person to the wall, and also kind of a way of like not having.
Yeah, so it's a combination of, hey, you get to get this fancy little animation to a new scene, while also not having to be able to one-shot somebody or something like that.
Yeah, and I did that twice to the guy.
Ooh, that's the rage quitter?
Yeah.
Understandable.
And the match previously I won, so this was like our second match in the set.
I will admit, the only time I've ever quote-unquote rage quit is when I go up against somebody who just grapple spams, and that's all they do. I'll never forget.
Do that, but I don't want to.
I'll never forget playing Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Generations online, and I was going up against a what's their name? A pain grapple spammer because of how fast their grab is. Mm-hmm. They were so annoying. So on a scale of, well, first of all, how many different fighting games have you ever played?
Mortal Kombat, bit of Street Fighter. Legitimately played or tried.
Let's just say like you played them, even if you didn't like them. Where would you put this on the scale? Like, to you, how good is Guilty Gear Strive over the last 3 days that you've had it?
Very good. It's like my favorite.
Okay. Well, that's something that I'm gonna have to look into.
The soundtrack is full metal.
Oh, okay.
With some, exceptions. It's all really good music. The story mode, there's no fights. It's legitimately like you're just sitting down watching an anime.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's like, a part of me is like, I want some fights. But then it's like, I also don't.
Speaking of anime, how far have you gotten with Valkyria Chronicles? Have you beaten that one yet or no?
No, I got stuck. So that's why I wasn't popping into your stream.
I figured that was the case.
I'm not going to spoil.
What mission did you get stuck on?
11.
Chapter 11?
No, 10 part 2.
10 part 2. Well, I'm in New Game Plus right now, so you can come back.
Yeah, I saw the achievement.
Oh, I forget about that. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
I forgot they were a thing. I forgot about the achievements popping up like that. But no, I'm having it's no longer a primary game that I'm going to be playing. It's probably every Wednesday I'm going to play it. But
Bacteria Wednesday.
but the reason I'm doing that is because I want to get I want to 100% complete the game because I'm enjoying it that much. There are a couple story moments that were very predictable for me. I'm not gonna say anything more than that. But overall, I like the story. I like the story, and the mechanics of the game is like really awesome.
Yeah, like it was definitely a good pick for me to like, hey, play this. I'm just like pushing it over the. I'm pushing it across the table. This. Like I could just imagine that. But when it came to 4A, and this is like my first impressions of it, because my goal was, and this was a small goal. My goal was to get to 4A. That was my goal. I beat that in 3 days. So now my goal is to get into what. So there's the 10th layer. It's called the Stairway to Heaven, and the last one, the Celestial Floor. I want to get there. I'm basically telling myself I have to get so good I can compete in a tournament.
So that's a good question. If you get to that point, will you attempt to compete in tournaments?
Oh fuck yeah! I already feel like I can actually compete in some tournaments. Some, not all.
I look forward to potentially seeing you at some esports event in the future. Then.
Obviously again, like when we're talking about this, and we're talking about fighting games, the best one that you want to like throw out is like Evo. Like I want to compete in Evo.
Well, that would be pretty awesome.
That would be sick. And with Guilty Gear being a very strong contender, and was in Evo last year, because of the netcode and stuff like that, it's like really good. And it is still, it's a hyper aggressive game. I wouldn't see it not being there, and it supposedly shipped 500,000 copies so far.
That's actually pretty awesome. It hasn't been out that long, has it?
For a month.
That's respectable. Very respectable for fighting game, especially. Because fighting games always have this tendency to be pretty quote-unquote niche.
And now fighting games are not that niche anymore, weirdly.
True, but at the same time, there's not like not very many casual gamers are gonna go for a fighting game. In all honesty,
because it's either of two things. They either make the fighting game so dumbed down for casuals that veterans of the genre don't like it,
and it's not a good game when they do that.
Yeah, and I like the quote I got from someone I watched. Basically, no matter how simple you'll make the game, the pros will still kick the casuals' ass.
Yeah.
The people that play the game normally and aren't casuals to it will still kick their ass, no matter how dumbed down you make it.
That's why I never try and get like. There's certain games where I can't help but get a little bit frustrated at, but at the same time,
that's just the reality.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it. It's not saying that casuals can't get to that level, because what made me from a casual to now I want to say a person that's like kind of plays, well, I'm starting to play fighting games normally, was BlazBlue Cross Tag.
Okay.
I bought it because I wanted to like play it, stuff like that, and basically when I did, I said, okay, I'm going to play a match a day, and I played a match a day, and eventually I got good, and then eventually I started doing super cancels, and eventually, and I remember there was this guy, because the ranking system was fucked in that game, because basically I joined so late that there was no one in the ranking lobbies.
Oh god. So you were probably going up against like the best of the best.
I was not doing anything of that. I was just kind of basically, how should I put it? I was playing in the free lobbies, like just the regular lobbies, and there was someone that I think came in that was Masters, and I did beat him.
I believe it.
And I think even that one moment, it tells you something that it's like, I have something. I'm onto something. I could do something with this. And the second fighting game I took seriously was Smash Bros. No, that was the first one I took seriously. The second one was Blaze Blue, and now it's Guilty Gear.
I think Smash Bros would be like one of the
Ultimate. That's the one.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking to too.
And before Smash Bros. Ultimate came out, they were hosting a tournament for Smash Bros. 4. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll enter it. Might as well. Even in a small tournament setting, I learned that my nerves get the best of me, and my entire body was shaking. I'm not saying like, you know, my hands were, my arms were. My entire body was visibly shaking.
Does that have a negative effect on your performance?
Oh, I still like dominated. I didn't lose one when we had to stop the tournament. I didn't lose. I was like setting myself up to like kind of keep on going. Like outright, I was doing fine, and I haven't touched. And at that point, I didn't touch Smash Bros for like a year or two, and I'm just like trying to remember everything while I'm doing it.
I'm gonna have to restart this mission that I was saved into because my character's about to die.
That's a rip.
I figured something like this was gonna end up happening. Right there. Anyways, yeah, no, that's always awesome. Like, I love when people are like, I don't know how to word it, but they just play a game and they pick it up immediately.
And the thing is, and you know this very well with how I play other games, I'm a very fast learner.
Oh. I
Like,
was a little disappointed that you missed out on 2 glitches that happened. In,
Valkyria,
yeah. One of them, I moved Alicia, and I had her climb a ladder, and she phased through the world, fell through the floor, and, like, hit the ground box, and everybody was trying to go after her because she was out in the open, technically, but at the same time, she didn't exist, so she was like Schrodinger's Alicia there for a minute.
Is this it? I reset. Okay.
And I was like, this is are you here, Grant? Are you here right now? Like, that's what I was saying in the thing.
Like, I couldn't, because again, I like the game.
No, I know.
Too much,
I understood completely why you weren't there because of the story spoilers.
and I was trying to be like, okay, well, he's on that, so I have to speedrun this shit. And I just couldn't get part 2 done.
I'm trying to think what the mission was. I can't remember him.
There was this cannon that would be moving left and right, and that was a big problem because you had to like
The train?
shoot. Yeah, the train. That was annoying.
Yeah, the train is pretty annoying. Do you have... No, you don't. Never mind.
Nope.
I was gonna ask about something, but I'm like, wait a minute. That happens after that because of this reason. And yeah, the train's pretty fucking annoying. It took me a lot of restarts to get that one.
Yeah. But yeah, no. D&D went well today.
Oh, I totally even forgot about that. How well did it go? How many 20s were rolled?
I rolled 2 20s and 3 1s.
Ooh.
Basically, okay, so there were 3 paths. So this is how the DM approached it. There were 3 paths. One path was well lighted. One was covered in rocks, like by 2 big statues actually, and blocked off. And one was just completely dark, even to dark vision. I went down that path by myself because I'm like, fuck it.
And as soon as you said this one's like been magically darkened, dark vision doesn't even work down here, I'll take that path. You're probably gonna die. You know that, right?
I almost did. Almost. Keyword. I fell down a flight of stairs.
I cannot stop the grin on my face because I love Dungeons and Dragons for that reason in particular.
He said, okay, roll 10 dice. So I rolled my one die 10 times and kept track. And I got, half of them were good. I got 2 1s and 120 in that rotation. So half were good, half were bad. And so it's kind of like, out of all that, I took 1 damage because he didn't bother saying like, oh, do acrobatics check, because I'm like, I have a +3 to dex, so I would have probably succeeded anyways. He just assumed I was going to roll. And I'm like, okay, cool.
All right. I understand.
Just that assumption.
Yeah. When you roll a certain way or something like that, they just let things happen. I've been watching some Dungeons and Dragons clips over the.
A lot of DMs kind of like just say, yeah, you don't need a roll for that.
Yeah, like.
It's like, why? It's like, because it's kind of like common sense.
Well, it's funny when somebody tells somebody like, I'm going to strike this individual, and the person goes, all right, roll. And as they're saying it, they're realizing this is kind of dumb because of what he's trying to attack. He rolls like some low number, and he's like, well, you hit because, I mean, this is what you're attacking. Yeah, it's like, you would have hit if you rolled a 2, but I'm so used to saying roll, I said roll, even though you really didn't need to.
Another thing is, he said, oh yeah, well, you know, roll to see if it spawns a drag raid. And he rolled the die. And this is how my luck works.
Oh,
I said
God.
it was a 5, it was a 2. He drops the die. He drops a d6 and rolls a 5.
That's great.
He said, fuck it, I'm the DM, the dragon's coming.
I always love when rolls on encounter tables.
He just said like it was a 2, it failed. I don't care.
Screw it, you're fighting a dragon now.
No, it's like, no, the dragon's going to be killing the people that are fighting you right now. Just enjoy.
That's great.
The dragon kills 4 out of the 8 people, including the boss.
That's always great when stuff like that happens.
He just said, ah, fuck it. And I'm like, okay, that's fair. Some stuff is just fair. And other things, like, I weirdly have this thing where I'm like almost like being a second DM weirdly, and I'm not trying to be. It just happens.
Sometimes the players are just as much of a DM as the DM. Like, without the players, you're not going to have the story to drive itself, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like, it's still, I don't want to do it, because again, it's like, oh, he's the DM, and like, you know.
I understand,
like
I understand what you're saying.
It's like a respect thing, but it's like, it's also like just passive, I guess, because when we're discussing stuff, like, for example, I had to pick a lock, and I had Thieves' Tool and Burglary's Tool, right? I said, okay, well, like a +3, does that sound fair? And it was just like, yeah, that's fair. Because like, oh yeah, you're using an extra tool, of course you would have extra, like, a +3 to it, to what you're doing. And another one was, since I walked down, and this is the funny thing, since I walked down that empty path by myself, and it got lifted up and stuff like that, first of all, I nearly died because the axe nearly killed me, but I did a con save and a death save, and I passed it by like 1 for both of them.
That's great.
And he's like, you nearly died, and I'm like, yeah. I do rogue things when I'm like, I don't need a party, I'm a rogue, I can do this alone, I got good deaths, fuck you. What, I have to go into the shadows? Like, I have a +6.
I am the shadows.
I am the shadow, fuck off.
I just picture you like in that event, everyone just glances at you and I say, okay, I take the path that no one else in their right mind would take. Everyone just looks at you.
It's like why? It's because I wanna.
Because fuck you, that's why.
Yeah, basically I'm like, I wanna explore, I wanna know. Like that.
Did you find any good loot or anything like that down that path?
I found lore.
Ooh, that is good.
I haven't told my party yet.
Ooh, that's always the best when you get secret information.
I know it, and I don't plan on telling him.
Oh, that's great.
Because I'm just like, I'm not. it has no use to you. Okay? I am on my own journey. I'm gonna figure this out. And by the time we get to the town, if we get to big town, I will use my cause again as a rogue.
You have
as an
connections and stuff.
assassin, I have connections.
Yep.
I can fucking talk to people and shit like that.
That's
And be like,
great.
I'll figure this out. And meanwhile, we get the rest of the temple lore, and I'm piecing everything together. I'm like, oh shit, and everyone else on the table could probably piece it together, but their characters can't. I can. And
I always love when somebody
oh,
sticks to their character and they don't use the information the player has. That's always the best.
And if it's information I don't have, I said I'm gonna propose a theory. That's what I said, and it's just okay, do this, and then it worked, and I'm like, okay, do this, and it worked, and I'm like,
that's great. Is the situation where the most mundane things you roll for get the highest rolls, and when it really comes in
everything out of combat, I got decent rolls.
Yep, I was just about to say.
Combat, I had advantage, and I rolled a 1 and a 3.
Oh God, have you heard about the? Okay, hold on. I have to say, that's at least better than the Will Wheaton dice curse. Have you heard about that?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God, you have to look up the Will Wheaton dice curse. It's
just always rolls ones.
Yes.
But
I think the highest I've ever heard of him rolling was a 13 or some shit like that. And in a game where you have to roll low to succeed, he rolled high.
They try to give him mercy in the
they were let's use his curse against him. He'll always roll low roll, and he'll be fine. Every single roll was above 18.
You just look at the dice and say, I hate you. Oh, I did that weird thing. So I rolled a 17 for initiative +3, so that was a 20. And then I'm like, okay, I gave him the die I used, and I said, I just rolled high. That will roll low. It rolled a fucking 2 for him.
That's great.
Fuck you, dude. Fuck your enemies.
That's great.
I know this bullshit.
I know how you work. I know how my luck goes.
You enough.
I'm gonna probably end up watching some Arcadium videos. If you don't know who that is, that's an individual that does a lot of
indie
different collab D&D stuff. He's got stuff he's wanting to do with a whole bunch of different interested parties, including limited to a lot of VTubers. Hell, I think he's got something running right now with Bebe, Snuffy, a couple other ones. I'm not 100% sure though.
Silverveil's on there or something like that.
What's up?
I think Silverveil and Ironmost are in it.
Yeah,
I
think so too. I don't.
Zen is.
Well, I think he's got one getting started with Zen. I'm not sure though. I haven't really been following along with all the stuff.
Snuffy is in one. I know that for sure.
But yeah, I'm probably gonna check out a lot of Arcadium stuff this weekend while I'm chilling.
One thing that I found funny was I rolled shit throughout combat. I was rolling 3s, 6s, and I rolled I got a 10. I think I got a 10 or I got 8. And then my proficiencies got me the 13, so it hit. And I dealt 2 damage. And then when it came back to my turn, I finally rolled a nat 20. And guess who I did the damage to? Ironically, the guy had 2 HP left.
So you do ridiculous amounts of damage to a person who's literally on his last legs.
So, nat 20 doubles the damage.
Yeah, that much I do know.
I told him outright, do I even need to roll for this? Dang.
Can I just say I turn him into a mist puddle? Can we?
He's dead. Even if I roll a 1.
I'm actually tearing up a little bit on that. Yeah. Even if you roll a 1, he's dead because the damage is doubled.
Dead,
Oh, so So your DM goes through and tells you how much health points an enemy has, or do they like?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's yeah.
I know there's a whole bunch of different styles to do it. Like some styles
what I
are,
did
oh, he
was-
looks really bad right now. Like he might be on his last legs, but you're not 100% sure.
Yeah,
But he's
either
real bad off.
description or just straight up saying, yeah, this much health points.
I probably would just do the descriptions.
Then again, it's also some people like that, just the health points, because then they know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like,
True.
so I just said, oh yeah, I pulled back my bow, and I said I pulled my quiver from my bow. I said that because I didn't know what the stat was called. I don't know the name of it. But
I know what you're trying to say. I just can't remember the title of it either.
I'm just calling it arrow holster.
It's a quiver, but I don't know what it's called. Drawing from your quiver, I think. But I don't know.
The quiver is the arrow. Is it not? No, the quiver is the.
The quiver is what the arrows go in.
Oh, I've been saying that wrong. We've all been doing it wrong. I've been assuming the arrows were the quiver. Whoa, welcome to me. Not knowing much.
Arrows are arrows. I mean, you could have different types of arrows, poisoned, hunting, stuff like that.
But the thing is, like,
armor-piercing arrows. You know, armor-piercing arrows are actually a thing, right?
Yeah, so is fire arrows.
Yeah.
Which basically do the same thing.
The armor-piercing arrows, I'm thinking question like the real-life armor-piercing arrows are like these fucking spiral, vicious-looking motherfuckers.
But it's like, so whenever he says, whenever you kill someone, you get to describe.
Oh, yes.
You get to describe.
How do you want to do this?
How do you want to do it?
Yep.
And then I said, I pulled back from my bow, and then I made the bush noise, and then it hits him straight in the head. And then he says, well, he's not looking at you, so it goes through the head and pins to the ground.
Oh, that's great.
And that was my, that was my first nat 20 in combat, I think.
I got so many questions that popped up now. So how do you do like arrow recovery? Do you do that, or is it just like all the arrows you had?
I don't even say I'm going to recover my arrows. I'm like, I'm leaving them there.
Okay. So you do have an ammunition you have to keep in mind.
Yes, that's what I've been doing. I don't pick up my arrows. I'm just like,
interesting.
Fuck off! I don't care. I got gold.
Because I was gonna ask.
Start with 15 gold piece. So.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Everyone in my party starts with 15 gold.
That's actually pretty awesome.
So, why the fuck do I need to pick up my arrows?
True. I think it's
legitimately go buy them.
I think it's kind of different for somebody who's like gone fishing or has been on hunts before, because I have it ingrained in my mind that if I'm gonna let loose an arrow or something like that, or like if I'm gonna shoot a rifle, I gotta bring the casing with me. Like that's what's in my mind at all times. So like I was gonna ask if you have to roll a certain amount of dice in order to figure out how many arrows you get.
That would be cool, but the thing is, like, what I like about how my DM's very like lenient.
I could tell just by listening to some of the things that you're saying about like how you don't need to roll for this. This just happens, kind of a situation. Like if it's a reasonable situation, a lot of DMs will roll for everything.
I told him outright, roll for the dragon because it's going to succeed. And he said, "Okay, pick the number." I'm like, ah, shit.
This was on a D6, you said, or
It was on D6, and then the number was 2, and then I said 5. I said 5, so the number was 2, and then when he dropped the die, it turned into a 5.
That's great.
So I guess I call the dice before it's rolled, not the other way around. The more you know about your luck.
That's great.
And the one thing that I will proudly say that is actually like funny was the sense that if you really think about it, he allowed me. He said, like, you know, we were fighting some dragon worshippers. And my theory was
Bahamut Tiamat, or just bog standard?
It's just bog standard. They ancient ritual magic worshippers, kind of stuff like that, where it's like they were once human, but now they're, you know,
corrupted into these entities.
Yep.
Okay. I'll allow it.
And what's funny is I'm the person that knows the most about this story.
That's because of your little side adventure, right?
I build my rogue as a, you need something? Here you go.
What are you buying? Like that. What are you selling?
Yeah, basically you need something, I got. I have a +3 for sleight of hand. I have a +6 for stealth. I have like
I have to ask, is this the type of group that in certain situations could potentially have PvP?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
110%. I guarantee you that's probably going to happen eventually.
That's why I had to bring it up.
110% am going to tell you that.
When it does, message me in the Discord. When it does, message me in the Discord and tell me what happens, please.
I just know, because we've have this like mech, like this like war mech.
Oh
and
God.
He has hate speech. The DM allowed him to have hate speech.
Oh God.
Location confirmed.
And he weighs 380 pounds of pure metal.
Oh, this is wonderful.
And he starts stuff like I know a fight's gonna happen eventually, and I'm just gonna dip out. Like I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this. You guys have fun.
Wonderful.
I know that because it's a bunch of my friends. I know something's gonna happen like that. I know it's gonna happen. It's not gonna.
I love how unapologetic you are about it too. They're my friends. Of course, some shit's gonna go down.
We have a guy that decides to end off a dragon worshipper's life by kicking them in the nuts. Yeah. And he has the most enemies down so far. He has like 5. Not kidding. I'm not kidding. That is...
So I kick him in the nads and I kill him. Oh my God, that's too much.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm crying. Yeah. Holy shit, that is too much.
That's my friend group. So I will say, without a doubt, that's gonna be a fight eventually.
Holy shit, that's too funny.
Without a doubt, I don't even think I need to tell you more context. You're just like,
no.
Yeah,
as soon as you said that, everything clicked into place for me.
It's like, yeah, there's going to be a fight somehow, some way. It's not going to be like a bad fight. It's going to be like two like.
Most PvP things that I've come across in my little like research adventure, I guess.
And the DM decided to put character for his own, which is like, I don't mind when DMs do it, but when they do it every single, like he said, well, I created a character of my own because you guys were having fun. Like I would just want to join in.
I mean,
that's
if it's basically it's just a group. It's just a group that's like, fuck it. We're all basically gonna DM a little bit in our own right.
Character, he rolls in the open for his character.
Okay.
That's fair.
I didn't even mean to ask. I didn't even think about asking about how you roll.
He rolls in the open for the character.
Well, I meant like, you've established that, but like.
Yeah.
I was laughing too hard about the kicked in the nads to kill him. Holy shit.
Like enemies, he rolls, beyond the DM screen, but when it's his character, he rolls in the open because that does make sense. Because it's just a party member for us. It's like, of course we would know what happens. It's not like, oh, we know secretly what. Like he rolls behind the thing.
No, I get what you're saying. I've watched enough. I've watched enough DN. I've watched enough.
Equal to D&D.
DNA.
Exactly.
Dungeons and Ancients. I tried so hard to think of a proper title, and I was just like, screw it, say that. Oh.
Demons and Ancients.
Demons and Angels.
That one. Yeah.
That one.
That one.
We have a winner! Winner, winner, chicken dinner!
Da da da! But, so... I think, like, I'm the most level-headed person. And I think what was funny is, something came up, where basically, this, first of all, congrats on my DM, he created an entire dungeon without any help.
Ooh.
He did it all for himself, and that's actually, yeah, congrats. But basically, I proposed something that was convenient. They said Dwarvish, like, you know, like, there was Elvish, Dwarvish, Celestial, and because, okay, so there was this orb, right? And I rolled a 1, so I triggered a water trap.
Oh god.
Yay, go me. I'm fucking rogue, rolling a 1 for perception. Fuck. That's the only word you could use. Fuck.
Oh, I'm actually like, my eyes are so watery because of that. I'm still on the... He killed one of the priests by kicking him in the nuts. Oh, that's too funny. That is way too funny.
We had one bleed out. Like, so what? So the DM helped me because again, back to the original first combat where I nearly died. I had 1 HP left, but basically what happened was he was doing something and the DM allows reactionary, and basically it's like you can dodge out of the way using debts. You don't need to prepare for it. You can just do it. Which, as long as he permits it, it's fine. He's that kind of, like, he wants to make sure this is fun. He's not a rule stickler.
Oh yeah, I can tell just by the way you're talking about it. It's very like relaxed. It's a very relaxed campaign.
It is a relaxed thing, and I like when DMs do that. It's like you don't need to.
These are the rules, and you must follow them.
No,
like that.
I always see it. Yeah, no, never. I'm never going to be one of those.
Well, I don't think I could be a part of something like that, just because like.
It takes the fun out of D&D. I like treating those rules as their guideline. They're guidelines. You follow them, cool. You don't follow them, cool. You could create your entire thing. Heck, if I ever get around to finishing the Dark Souls one, I still have to remap the entire leveling system. And all the skill points.
Oh god.
I have to remap it. Because you can't have that skill point in Dark Souls. You just can't. I'm just saying how it is.
No, I believe you. It's just I'm like,
you have like debts, but you don't have debts in the same way. It's just like,
yeah, the way the stats are is they're very different from like a regular D&D campaign.
Yeah, and that's gonna be annoying. And
they have similar names but different utilizations.
Meaning, because debts doesn't do shit for you in that game. It just like boosts up some damage, and also you use some weapons. So it's not a mobility thing.
Uchigatana.
I remember when I used that for the first time, and I'm like, oh, this shit's cool, and then I just couldn't beat the game. Then I run out with a bandit knife and beat the game.
Which one did you do this in? 3? Dark Souls 3?
Yeah.
I was just saying that because I know I went through Dark Souls 1 and 2 with the katana-based weaponry, and I beat both games with that, so...
I didn't like the katana, honestly.
Understandable. To each their own. That's why there's so many weapons like that. I mean, you could run through the whole game and do it with bows.
Slow. Hence why I like the bandit knife.
Yeah, you definitely come off as a very fast-paced individual. I bet Sekiro and Bloodborne is perfect for you.
I hate Bloodborne. I hate Bloodborne.
Really?
I don't hate how it is. I just hate how I can't play it.
Okay. That's kind of surprising.
I don't hate how it is. I love Gothic. I can't play it.
Is it?
It's there's no defensive option for
Oh.
and that fucks me over a lot.
Yeah,
Because
the only
with-
defensive option you have is a...
Parry.
Yeah, the pistol parry.
Pistol parry or back parry, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's a...
Also, my guys suck ass right now. Every single person has been missing like 81 and 80 and 89%.
Damn, maybe you should have rolled with advantage.
I bet you that is the advantage roll and they're still missing.
But another thing he does is if the enemy rolls too low, like if they roll a 2 or a 1, they just outright miss and just like slam their weapon to the ground. It's basically they put all their energy on the weapon and they go flying with it.
That's great.
During the second encounter, I did rogue things. I just stick to the shadows and we're using my bow and arrow. I'm like, I'm not going to go there and go up to their face. I'm supporting you guys here. You do your combat. I'll do mine.
Oh, that is wonderful.
But I actually beat New Game Plus with just a bandit knife. And I didn't change my armor for New Game Plus. I just ran.
I mean, I
through
know
his
you
armor.
could beat the... like, I've seen people do challenge runs. You ever hear about Zero Lenny? Watch any of his videos? Well, Zero Lenny...
I know about Happy Hob.
Oh, yeah, that shit. I want to watch the whole, like... Maybe I'll watch that this weekend. Happy Hobbs
Yeah,
run.
no, because he added in another one.
Yeah, I know.
so-
That's why I'm wanting to watch it. I want to see the original one. That was...
If he could do the hit list on that shit, that would be insane.
Yeah. I was watching bits and pieces of the original, and I didn't get to catch the finale live, unfortunately, but oh...
It's insane, because he doesn't even roll.
I have to watch it. I really will.
I'm not kidding when I say he just doesn't roll. And he beat Lord of Cinder like that.
That's fucking
Yeah, but-
crazy.
Yeah, you could say that twice, fuck.
That's fucking crazy.
You could say that thrice, fuck.
Shut up. I can't do it. We could probably keep going, but I'm not going to.
You could say that quad.
Basically,
You could say
keep
that
saying
coin.
that. I was about
You
to
could
say.
that tuple.
I was about to say, how far can you go? Like, what can you go up to? Man, this has been one of the busiest summers for me. Ugh.
Imagine. They're just like, I don't know what the 7-1 is. It's tuple plus 1. God, that would be funny. But I beat. Yeah, no, I'm stuck on New Game Plus 2 because I'm still trying to do that. Hey, Hunter, welcome back, you son of a bitch. Yeah, so
Hello, Hunter.
reveals concealed units, gains health when nearby enemies take damage. Shell shock. That's not bad. And skirmisher. Oh, you're going to be fucked. Welcome to my skirmisher that has volatile myth.
Oh,
And also the
takes
other grenade.
increased damage to one of my best characters, you don't say.
Yeah, welcome back, drunkard.
The drunkard, yeah.
Drunkard, oh god, that's funny.
It's so, like, I've watched so many different streams lately about the Hunter.
also want you to
Everybody,
guess how long I've been
I have
up
not
for.
come across a single person that hates the Hunter so far.
No, because you can't. His personality is great. He's not a nuisance. And he's just there. His weapons are fantastic. Especially if you can't use Reapers. And just overall, just a good character.
Especially if you can't use one of the most broken classes in the game.
Yeah, we learned that from last race.
Man, I still can't get over the fact that, like,
You won just because of that.
like, it's weird when they make things intentional. Or did you think that, like...
I don't think they thought of it.
Yeah.
I don't think they did, to be honest.
I mean, I would love to be a quality tester for some of these games that I've played before.
If you tell me outright they made it intentional, then Doom was supposed to be clipped through.
Oh, speaking of clip through, I haven't watched the speed run to Valkyria Chronicles yet.
That one I don't mind seeing through. Halfway through.
Because I'm still debating whether or not I'm going to watch it off stream or on stream, right? I'm still like...
Either way, it's a good watch. It's a good watch. You're going to be sitting there and be like, how the fuck?
Well, the only thing is, if I do a watch of it on stream, I'm gonna want to wait to watch it till I get a webcam.
Yeah, that one would make sense.
Yeah,
I'm
because
never going to use a webcam.
yeah, I decided the only time I really use it is like if I'm gonna like start my stream earlier. Maybe I'll do like just chatting for a half hour to an hour, and I'll have my webcam on. And then when I get into the meat and potatoes of it, which is the game, I turn it off.
The thing is, I don't care about showing my face.
I don't either. That's not why I don't. The only time I'm really gonna think of the show or webcam is like when I'm doing reactionary content, maybe when I'm playing a new horror game, something like that, you know?
I will point this out. A person, and I know this from experience, person can enjoy another person just by the sound of their voice and by knowing them for how they are and never having to see them.
That's, yeah. Radio, podcasts, stuff like that exists.
Yeah. Your voice is so powerful in that sense of transmitting your personality that in the end of the day, they don't need to know something that a lot of them would argue, I must know about this.
I think that's one of the funny things about like the curiosity of how someone looks. That
it's like more and more you think about it, the more and more. But now that's also starting to die down because VTubers.
Well, not just that. Also, I've noticed there's been quite a lot of an uptick of people that don't have webcams. Oh,
yeah,
and aren't
it's
VTubers.
Starting to be a common thing now.
Yeah, it's going back to like it's weird. It's weird how things have kind of like they've gone back to how things used to be.
The old days where he's still
remember the only time you could like find content was like you had to look up walkthrough and like with commentary.
With commentary, yeah.
Yep. Oh.
Yeah, I still do that.
Oh.
Hey, are you a fan of Monkey Ball?
I've seen it.
Have you played it?
No. I know what it is, but I'm like
that. Remastering 1 and 2.
Oh, okay. Those are games that like I might not. I'm really not interested in those types of games. Maybe I'll check them out in the future.
It is. You're doing yourself a disservice. It is fantastic.
Yeah, I'll have to check them out at some point in the future.
Not only does Monkey Ball have all those levels from 1 and 2 and a story mode, but has a fuck ton of minigames. They have Monkey Ball bowling, pool,
okay,
air gliding.
That's pretty awesome.
Soccer, tennis. Don't ask me how tennis works. I don't know. I've seen it. I don't know how it's gonna work because they throw the ball. I don't know. My brain will hurt if I think about
yes,
it.
critical hit. That person threw high cover.
Wow. I guess they did roll with advantage now.
No, that was the enemy.
Oh shit, yeah.
Dude, guess who they are? This character's fucking doomed.
Welcome to, I also did a crit too.
This character's doomed. Maybe they're not doomed. Bleed Storm just saved their life. Anyways.
But it's definitely a franchise I will recommend. Because if you don't like the levels or Monkey Ball...
Well, see, it's not, like I said, I'm never opposed to trying a game, right? Like, I'm not one of those people that's gonna go, oh, I wouldn't like it, and just throw it off to the side. I'm always a person that will be willing to try a game.
So. I have just outright written off Bethesda games for me. Because, and I have a valid point for this.
I know, yep.
I played Fallout. I didn't like it. I got bored. I played Skyrim. I didn't like it. I got bored. And I played most, if all open worlds, I get bored.
I love open world games.
I get bored too quick. I don't mind The Witcher because, yes.
Like I said, I understand it. Everyone has their own likes and dislikes and stuff like that.
I still get bored from The Witcher.
That's funny. One of the games I think you've talked about in high regard quite a bit is a game that you still classify as, yeah.
I still get bored.
I still get bored.
Yeah, it's like, why? Because I need to have a linear path.
Yeah, there's quite a few people that are actually like that. They have to be told where to go and what to do.
And if you tell me to play Legend of Zelda, I'm gonna say no.
That's like one of the farthest thing from linear in my mind.
I played Ocarina of Time. I got bored. No shit. Not saying it's a bad game. I hate when people think it's like, well, you don't enjoy the game, so you must think it's bad. It's like, it's not bad.
It just those don't go in line with my personal
Like the
preferences.
original Legend of Zelda, and it's hard as nails for me. And I got bored because there's too much to do.
The way you say I got bored is like, I don't know why, but it like gives me the warm fuzzies the way you say that.
I got bored. Like,
yeah, it's like I got bored.
It's
like it's so matter of fact, and so like there's nothing else to say about it other than I got bored.
I got bored. It's what do you want me to say? Something? It's like I elaborately didn't enjoy the long, non-linear
Oh, shut up!
of the adventure that they sent you on to make you develop the story that you are meant to enjoy. Oh, how I fathom what it could lead to if I keep going down the path I was never meant to.
You could probably make really good parody review content.
No. 3 words. I got bored. I can go in depth if I want, but I choose not to. Because I don't need to. That's the one thing I will say to anyone. You don't need to go in depth.
Like, so you don't have, you just, if you don't like it, you don't like it.
It's like, I got bored. Nothing else to say.
It, like I said, it's kind of quite difficult for me to get, like, to dislike a game or anything like that. I will say, it's kind of funny, like, horror games are very difficult for me to enjoy. Like, all the way through. And the main reason for that is because the best horror games for me are horror games like The Evil Within, Dead Space. Horror games where
horror games.
You can fight right off the bat, right? Like, they're not traditional horror.
Not bad. I highly recommend Soma.
Soma, yeah, I played Soma. Soma was fun.
Soma's not bad.
But here's the thing. The reason that horror games, that I don't enjoy them all the way through, like Soma, I enjoyed it, but about like halfway through, my enjoyment of it started to decline. The same thing happened with
the
Aliens movie, Alien Isolation.
I got bored.
Well, it's not that I got bored, it's that my brain suddenly realizes that the thing that's been created is not...
I know I'm going to get hate for saying this.
A threat.
I like Colonial Marine. I know how bad it is. I know how bad it is. I know how bad the AI was, but the feeling of just going through Xenos. Oh, it felt great. It was dumb. It was dull. But mowing down Xenos makes you feel great.
That's what's funny. You mentioned that because one of the biggest things is when my brain has a sudden realization that the big bad, the creature that's coming after you,
it's not even scary.
It's not that it's not even scary. It's that it's just created to be an obstacle instead of something that to be afraid of. That's when my brain goes, all right, switch from becoming afraid to becoming angry whenever you get accosted by the big bad. And then my enjoyment starts to go down because it doesn't become a horror game at that point. It becomes a gimmicky puzzle game at that stage.
If I remember seeing the end, it became very gimmicky.
What's that?
Evil Within became very gimmicky.
Yeah.
At the end.
The first Evil Within, yeah. The second Evil Within, I enjoyed that one. Better than the first one. But I still like the story in general. The reason I liked it more than I like the Evil Within more than Alien Isolation is because you got to fight the entire time, right? Oh shit. Do I want to do that now or next turn? Next turn. I'm about to get my codex.
I will say there is one Legend of Zelda I'm eventually going to play.
Ooh, which one? Breath of the Wild?
Majora's
No.
Mask.
Didn't we just talk about that? Anyways, what was that? Sorry.
Majora's Mask.
Ah.
Because it's creepy.
That laugh kind of messed me up, dude. Not gonna lie. Oh, I probably shouldn't say that. When I was laughing about kicking dude in the, I killed dude by kicking him in the nads. Oh, I'm still like it's taken me a minute to.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Accurate. His eyes go white as they roll back.
Like I'm just imagining the Mortal Kombat X-ray fatality. Yeah.
Fatality. Oh yeah, speaking of Mortal Kombat, my favorite one actually has to be I like Ermax in 10. Cause like
That one was pretty vicious.
oh it was sick though to look at. It was like pretty cool to look at. But here's the thing with horror movies and horror games. There comes a certain point where if I don't become scared of them. I become fascinated about them. And it doesn't become a horror movie or game about that. It becomes something that I'm shying my eyes away from jump scares, but still enjoying the movie. I don't do jump scares.
You know what's funny?
Huh?
I have never, and I will never play these games, but I've never played Five Nights at Freddy's, and I probably will never play them.
I never will either.
Because they are based entirely on the type of scares that I fucking hate the most.
I don't. After a while, you just become numb to it.
Exactly.
Really?
Some people don't, apparently, but
yeah, some people just. I don't recommend. Here's the thing: FNAF was a fad.
Yeah, I'm like it's a fad that lasted for quite some time.
Less for a year and a half.
Basically, it lasted for up until it got a movie made out of it, or a movie's being made out of it, or some bullshit. All about that.
The movie was getting made for Sly Cooper, and I was looking forward to that.
Oh, did it get canned?
Yep.
Of course it did. Everything that
Sly Cooper would. Here's the thing: Sly Cooper would make a fantastic movie. I'm not kidding.
I believe you.
All like, oh yeah, all game movies are shit. It's like, think about it. Sly Cooper has 3 to 5 sections. Every game. And they go to different areas and fight a new bad guy.
It's kind of funny you say that because it's one of those situations. How could they fuck this up? Well,
legitimately. I mean,
you would be surprised.
They fucked up Monster Hunter. I can't be that surprised.
Listen. These Hollywood morons, for some reason, will take a media and you know what's funny? I think it was a combination. I recently, it's been a long time since I watched it. Like a couple months ago, 2 months ago, I think it was. I watched the Doom movie with Dwayne The Rock Johnson and all them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it, but not nearly as much as I remember enjoying it because I was thinking about the actual Doom lore and what it was based on, and I'm like, this
doesn't match up.
It doesn't match up.
Grand Doom Eternal was like that, weirdly. It threw in a bunch of lore, and people were complaining about
retcon stuff. I heard about they retconned a lot of stuff.
I'm just sitting there like, why did you have to throw in lore in a Doom game?
I watched a comedy review video by somebody. I can't remember the name of it, but they were talking about how I'm going to tell you all about the lore of this game because I literally can't understand it, and it's not even a spoiler because you won't be able to understand it either. And I really didn't understand it.
Because here's the thing. The first, I like calling the rebirth of Doom. The first rebirth was fantastic. People loved it. It's a hard game. Don't kill yourself. It still has the Doom style, and it's hard. Even on easy mode, it's hard. But basically because of one thing, Doom guy listens to lore and pushes it away.
Yeah, that's what I love about the Doom guy. Literally, he's told you can't shoot a hole in the surface of, like, that's the most Doom guy thing I could think of.
You can't shoot a hole in the
surface of Mars. Proceeds to do literally just that.
Proceeds to be in the cannon when he does that.
True.
And just walks off like it's like, yeah. It's like, I'm fine. It's like, yeah,
I'm sorry, what was that you said I can't do? 30% crit chance, that would be lovely if that could happen.
And on top of that, he opens up the portal, throws the one person he needs to throw in, looks at the Marauder and be like, okay, we're doing this. It's like, in a weird magical way, having simple lore for Doom makes sense. Doom 2, for example, he went back to hell to avenge his bunny.
Yep, I was just about to mention the bunny.
And if anyone says, well, that's not a heavy story, you're not playing Doom for the story.
Why the fuck is John Wick so popular then?
Because the combat looks sick.
Why is Doom so popular then? Do you get what I'm trying to say though? Like,
because head banging and you're killing demons.
It doesn't, like, the story in these circumstances.
John Wick is so simple if you really bite it down to the bone.
Exactly. That's why I'm mentioning this when we're talking about Doom.
It's such a generic trope. It's like, oh, why are you getting revenge? Because they killed my wife. Oh, why are you getting revenge? Because they killed my dog and stole my car. It's like, okay, that's a new. It's
funny because just like with Doom, the remake of Doom, or not the remake, but the continuation of Doom, there's a lot of lore in the background, but you as the player care about that. John Doom, whatever his name is, doesn't give a shit.
Does not give two shits. And it showed so heavily in Doom Eternal. He cared about one person. And that was called the traitor. That's it. He didn't say anything to anyone. And he legitimately looked at the one person that was supposed to show peace and bring hope to the new Earth and said, you're fucking dead.
I'm gonna break your neck. I'm gonna break your neck with your own arm. I don't know if that's actually what happened,
but... I'm gonna push your arm inside your body.
Yes. I'm going to replace your head with your shoulders. What?
You heard me.
You heard me.
It's like, not saying anything makes
just
that
doing.
Better. Just makes it better.
Doom is literally the epitome, or whatever the word is, of actions speak louder than words.
He isn't just what the demons fear. He's the demons' denies. They've tried.
When demons die, they don't go to hell. They don't go to
They go to Doom Guy.
Doom, exactly.
Granted, okay. It's also been kind of like, I like saying it's fanon. That if they went to like Hasbin Hotel or like something like that, I don't think Doom Guy would do anything.
I mean, as long as the demons. See, here's the thing: as long as the demons aren't trying to kill humans, like take over the world type of stuff, he's fine. The only demons he would have trouble with are probably the ones from Hell
of a Boss.
Hell of a Boss, and even then, most of the time they're going after some pretty asshole-ish individuals themselves.
Or fighting among themselves.
True.
And what's funny is, like, you'd be like, how do you know? Because he's friends with Isabel.
I fucking love how that's canon.
That's fanon. That's
fanon.
Not canon.
Well,
that's
not canon, but fanon. It's pretty much canon in my mind at this point because of the fact that they tweeted at each other. The official accounts tweeted at each other.
Will Isabel be there?
Oh my god. If they ever at some point in the future have, like, a weird crossover thing.
All it fucking is. No, because Nintendo won't condone that.
No, I meant, like, if they had a condoned thing.
Oh, if they did, then yeah, that'd be
God, could you imagine, like, a new costume for...
Isabel keychain on your shotgun?
No. Doom Guy for the next, I can't even finish it. I cannot even finish.
Okay.
Hey, greetings and good day, Mr. Cloyster. How are you today?
Here's my point. They put Sephiroth in the game.
Yeah, they put
How much violent can you get?
that commercial for Seth Roth though.
Was so sick.
It was a perfect fit for him.
Dun, dun, dun. Just like, oh, well, you know.
And the fight where he's completely demolishing everybody.
Just like, oh, well, you know. You see this slice. People are just like, everyone kind of like thought with that slice, Sephiroth?
Well, there's a couple people that
shit.
said some weird stuff.
And
Weird
like,
characters they threw out.
Kazua is also in Smash, which is also a very violent
Banjo and
character.
Kazooie. There's like
not
Snake.
Kazua from,
Snake. Whoa! You want to talk about violent? Let's look at Metal Gear Solid's character Snake.
They're not as violent as the other ones.
I know, not as violent, but still, he's snapping necks, shooting people in the head.
He has a grab where he snaps a neck.
Yeah. So like, you can't tell me that Doom guy would never be in there.
And we all know what his ultimate would be. The BFG.
That would be great.
I can imagine just the character looking behind them. They see a green glow, and they just see a ball, and then you see this crater where the character was.
We'll see though. We'll probably see. When are they gonna announce the next character drop?
They made Dante a me skin. I'm pissed.
I always love whenever they do something like that, and the Twitter memes are, "Hey, you guys who wanted him in the game got what you wanted. Not like this."
Not like this. It's like, granted, they used Devil May Cry 1 outfit, which is not bad, but not his best outfit. Hey, if I'm gonna accept it, I want it to be at least Devil May Cry 3.
Well, hey, I look at it this way.
He's there.
At least
he's represented.
Yeah, at least he's represented. That's the word. Thank you.
I mean, to be fair, if he wasn't represented, that would kind of be like a bit of heresy. Because it's a celebration of gaming. And if it wasn't for Dante, hack and slashes wouldn't be a thing.
It's weird. It's kind of weird to think about the fact that, like
let me just.
It's almost like they're almost done announcing characters and stuff like that.
Crazy.
Like,
it's been like 2 years, and this is a celebration of gaming. So if someone doesn't get in, they don't.
That's it.
No. That's it. Sucks to suck. And the thing is, like I said, I would be genuinely shocked if they never added Dante in, because the thing is,
Okay, here's a good one for you. Not which character do you want, or which character do you think will be the final character to come to Smash? What characters do you think are going to get Mii fighters?
Waluigi.
Okay.
I'm going to call this now. It's going to be announced in the final Fighters Pass.
Understandable why it would be.
He would get a Mii costume. Because there's no way Sakura is going to put him in the game.
Oh yeah, no, there's no way.
There's no way.
People have been memeing about it a little bit, but...
And Sakurai is just like... If he won't even put a Mii costume in for him, there's no way. Like... He put a Mii costume in for Gino. Twice.
Oh.
And I guarantee you he tried to put Gino in the game, like officially. Because Gino was supposed to be in Brawl.
I wonder how many characters he hasn't been able to get in that he's wanted to get in.
Yeah, because Nintendo says no.
Yeah, I just thought about that. Oh, that would suck to have to live by the constraints of, oh.
Yeah, that really would. Because Sakurai is a very gifted man when it comes to game development. I mean, he's fucking 5 for 5 right now. No, 6 for 6. He created Kirby. That blew up. He creates all the Smashes. And yeah, he's kind of just chilling.
I wonder what he's gonna work on next.
Definitely not another Smash Bros.
Oh yeah, no, this is like...
He announced that. He said no. I'm not doing another Smash.
I know he's done with Smash after this. I'm just curious to be like, what's he gonna work on next?
And that's why I feel like this is definitely like kind of like this last Raw. Characters that didn't make sense. Inkling. Weirdly. I feel like Inkling was too fresh to be put into Smash. For
I
some
bet you a
weird
lot of
reason,
people bought Smash because of the Inkling edition.
because of Inkling. Then again, it's like, I'm also saying this, and in reality, it is probably like Inkling probably deserves it too. It's kind of like a weird 50-50 because Inkling did make
Splatoon was one of those, like, it made a hell of a splash when it came out. When I first heard about it, I saw it advertised. I'm like, what the hell is this? Maybe it'd be fun to, like, check out sometime in the future. I went to bed, woke up, and it was like, this is the game.
Blew up.
And I was like, what? Whoa, what happened?
It blew right up. And that's why I'm just like...
Like, that's one of those games where I know if I was still in high school when it came out, it would have... It would have been the thing that everybody was talking about and playing.
Like Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah.
Hey, it sticks with the genre.
For me, it was the Call of Duty. One of the Call of Duties, Black Ops, was a big one.
Black Ops 2 was my favorite.
Black Ops 3 was one of the ones that.
BO3 wasn't bad.
Well, people kind of shitting on it compared to the other ones.
I would rather have BO3 than BO4. If you want me to be completely honest about that. I don't like BO4. I don't like how it's set up. I don't like what they did with it. And I don't
know if I've ever played it.
That was the first pod battle royale that they had.
Ah.
And to be fair, they were just hopping on a trend at that point.
Well, yeah, they thought it would get them more sales, and maybe it did.
Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Still, I didn't like it. Because I stopped buying CODs. I stopped buying Call of Duties. I didn't buy Advanced Warfare. I bought Ghost. I bought BO3, and then I just stopped.
You know, what's a game that you're glad is like either not existing anymore or something like that, so you didn't get to see it get a battle royale?
I don't think there is one for you. Because it's not like I don't like seeing them getting a battle royale. I will strongly critique on one. And I don't think it's a battle royale, but the way that they changed up the formula, I didn't like. And that was Final Fantasy Dissidia. I heard stories of how they were making a Dissidia for the consoles, and Dissidia has always been a PSP title, so that's why I never played it. Because I never had a PSP or a PS Vita. And it looked fantastic. It had RPG mechanics, it had a strong story mode, you could play as villains, you could play as heroes. And it was like a one-on-one. So, when Dissidia was on pre-order, I pre-ordered it. Because, no shit. And it turned out to be a 3v3 battle arena.
Alright.
I'm not even going to really call it a fucking story. Because it wasn't. Basically no leveling up mechanics. There were rank mechanics. And it was 3v3. So I started playing it like it was 1v1. And not gonna lie, some people got mad at me for playing it that way.
That's kind of a shame.
I wanted to play Dissidia because it was fun, and I've seen it, and because everything looked so well in it. And they kind of botched it. And it hurt.
Companies do have a tendency to fucking fuck shit up like that.
Square doesn't fuck that much things over. They fucked some things, but not that much.
Well, every company, no matter how good the company is, will fuck something up at some point in the future.
Yeah, that's just
that's something everybody has to accept, right?
Yeah.
The problem is, how quickly can they recover from that fuck up, or they just keep stumbling over the first fuck up?
EA.
EA Sports. Such a shame.
Fucked. EA Sports. Get fucked. Oh, I remember the old school NBAs. Those were fun.
I remember. I don't even remember which one it was, but one of the Madden games.
Yeah, the old school shit was fun.
Yeah, one of the old school Madden games where you could like create your own team. Fuck, I can't remember. 2000 was it 07? I don't even remember which one it was, but like you could create your own team. You could make your own players and put them on your own team. Now they have all this shit where you have to have like, oh, story mode. Do you want to play? Do you want to play as someone who's entered the NFL? And it's like, cute.
To be fair, I don't. It's like, NBA Jam. That shit was fun. If you never played it,
Question.
try and find it. Do yourself a favor.
Have you watched? I think I might have asked this earlier, but I don't remember. Have you watched the most recent Space Jam?
No. I know about Big Chungus. I know about them.
I don't know about anything about Big Chungus. It's probably canon or some bullshit, but what are your thoughts?
He's in the movie.
What are your thoughts on... Rick and Morty's in that movie, apparently. They have a cameo. Or some shit. I don't really like... I never judge a movie or anything like that until I watch it. But I've heard it's gotten a lot of hate.
Treat it as its own thing.
I think people are too...
NBA... If you really think about NBA Space Jam... Well, not... Why did I say NBA Space Jam?
Because
Space
you were
Jam.
just talking about the video game.
If you're going to talk about Space Jam... And you're going to say... Oh, well, that was so good. If you go back and rewatch it...
Nostalgia's a hell of a pair of glasses.
It wasn't that good, if you really want to think about it. I enjoy a lot of bad movies, so I'm not the best critic. But... I enjoy it for how it is. But then again, it's also kind of a stupid plot. And...
Well, it's funny you say that, because I was literally thinking about it. I'm like, alright, let's look at the plot of what Space Jam 1 is. And I looked it up and I'm like, yeah, no, this shit's dumb as fuck.
It's dumb.
Why the hell do you have any right to complain about Space Jam 2, then?
It's a proper sequel.
Thank you. I'm so glad you have a similar mindset.
That's like people saying, I hated Metal Gear Solid 2, but I love Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. And the reason why that they hated Metal Gear Solid 2 was Raiden.
You know what's so funny about that?
That'd be fucking hilarious.
You know what's so funny about that? People nowadays will look back to Metal Gear Solid 2.
Metal Gear Solid 2 actually looked pretty fun.
Oh, it's such a fun game, but the reason a lot of people disliked it is because of the way that it was set up. It was like... The reason that it's as bad as it is, in quotation marks, is because he literally made the game being like, all right, this is what you get when you ask. This is what you get what you ask for. Here's the second game. Here you go. And now it's only been like X amount of years since it came out that everyone's been gushing about it now.
It's like legitimately walking up to, it's like Batman and Joker, and the Joker's like, okay, I have two of these right here. One has bang in it. One doesn't. You know what I'm going to do, Batman? I'm going to use both.
Pretty much. What's so funny though is I'm not one of those like individuals that's like, oh, anything Hideo Kojima makes is glorious and
glorious and shit.
I mean,
like
the
that.
story. I personally love the story. The stories are phenomenal. A lot of the gameplay mechanics, when you think about them in hindsight and stuff like that, are not the best. But there are certain moments.
He is a movie. He is. Movie. Basically, he's a movie producer in games.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yep.
But like, there's so much side stuff that he's put into his games that's like shit you could completely miss if you're not like going over with a fine tooth. There's still shit nowadays that I find out about.
Rising Revengeance.
Well, true. That's more of like a here's a fun game. Literally, a fun game.
It's so fucking great. The story is dumb. The story, if I'm really thinking about the story...
If you really think about any story of anything, look at the game that we're playing right now. The story of this is kind of pretty dumb if you think about it.
It depends how you beat the game, because if you actually defended against aliens, this is not canon. Fuck you, I just learned...
No, the first game is definitely not canon. The first game, this is what I love what this company did with the first game. There's one mission in Xcom that like 98% of people failed the first time they ever got it, right? or something like that. Something ridiculous. I don't know if it was 98%. It was
A high percentage.
a high percentage, and they were like, you know what? Let's make that the canon for the second game, so we don't have to try and make. Hilariously enough, this is my half joke, half serious situation. So we don't have to make a new game. We can just basically piggyback off of the old game and not have to come up with any really new lore of like, hey, now you're going to take the fight to them. No, you can do that in the third game if we ever get around to making it.
Keyword 1. But, holy shit, stun lancers are lethal in my game. They've been, like,
No, stun lancers are lethal in every game. Stun lancers are the bane of everybody.
No, they've been getting crits, like, non-stop. Like, dealing 4 to 5 damage each time. I don't mean that just they're lethal, I mean, like, they're, like, wiping.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's just fucking...
Cut my life into pieces.
This is my last
resort.
Oh,
Yes!
prediction. No.
Yes! I started laughing immediately. Oh, great. So good.
I was ramping up to the ramp. I like it when songs ramp up to like the main chorus.
Yes, I do too.
But it's... I feel like with... How should I put this? I feel like with how some people perceive games, they put him on a pedestal and they expect it to surpass that. And for a lot of games, that's just not possible. Like God of War Ragnarok, that it's gonna pass it. It's gonna pass it no matter what in my
See,
eyes.
here's the thing for me. I'm so hyped for the Ragnarok game because I've been a big fan of God of War, right? It's got a pretty decent story.
Zeus, your son has come.
Zeus, your son has returned. As is on the
fuck.
back of Gaia. Oh. And then the third
Poseidon
game starts
fight was
right
so
after
good.
that, ending of 2. Oh, that was so fucking good. Oh, you want to hear what glitch I got in that fight again in the second game against Zeus? I did the little swirl part where you like shove the blade of Olympus into Zeus and then you spin around and hit the pillar.
I was in 3, not in 2.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Zeus fight was 3.
No, you fight Zeus in the second one, but before you can kill Zeus, Athena prevents you from killing him.
So you kill Athena.
Yeah.
No.
But in that fight, in that little arena fight you have when you spin around on the Blade of Olympus and shoot him into the pillar, the game glitched and it shot him off the edge of the map. And I couldn't do anything because the trigger didn't click. So the game was literally just soft locked. Like it just couldn't do anything. So I had to restart. I had to restart from the beginning of my last save file, basically. It was so annoying. I had to do like an hour's worth of progress I lost.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
I know, it's not that bad, but when you're on the final fight and you're so hyped to finally kill
you're just
Zeus...
yeah.
Yeah.
You're just groaning, you're just like, okay, I'll move on.
I was like, wait, what? Did I do it? No? What's happening? And then I had to reload it, and I'm like, ugh.
So speaking of glitches...
What'd you do?
The glitch I sent you with Final Fantasy 13. That's the first time I've ever encountered that. And it was fucking hilarious when I did. You would just have these guys out of the map where I can't kill them, but their hitboxes are still there, where if I use a blitz, which is an AoE attack, it would still hit them. But they can't attack me. And then after that, after I finished that fight, they were fucking T-posing on me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. T-posing in anything in general is the greatest because of what T-posing is.
I broke the game, like basically I broke the tutorial.
T-posing to assert their dominance.
Yeah, that I normally just skip the enemies. I'm like, you're not worth it. You're not worth my time. Because they don't give experience points at all.
Oh,
You don't get experience points till after the tutorial.
So wait, those were tutorial things?
Yeah, that's the tutorial.
Oh.
It's a whole fucking chapter.
Oh.
Yeah. so just skip him. No, you could just run past him.
I'm so glad we extended the timers. Because the mission I was just on was one of the longest I think I've ever had. Because I had to deal with both the Lost and 2 Andromedons and just all kinds of crazy shit. Actually, I think I have only dealt with one of the Andromedons now that I'm thinking about it. So how's your game coming along so far?
I'm just vibing.
Same.
I had to read that mission twice, but that's it. Nothing terrible. No. Oh, he's just bleeding out. Okay, I'm fine.
You almost made me spit my water everywhere. Because as soon as you said, oh, I can't, oh, I'm real good, can't complain, having a great time. As soon as I heard that no, I was like, oh god, everything's gonna be ruined. And I almost choked on my water.
I'm gonna just reset for a 5th time. Hey.
Oh boy.
How many times I reset? It's like, how are you still in this race? Ah, don't worry.
Because
about it.
I'm fucking slow as molasses on a summer evening going uphill.
I am legitimately walking. You're like at snail's pace. Like, wow.
It doesn't help that because of how busy I've been this month, basically, I'm like tired. So I'm dragging ass even more than I normally would be.
Dude, I have been up since 4 a.m. in the morning today.
Why is that?
Because I woke up at 4.
Ah, I actually set my alarm. I've been setting my alarm a little bit earlier, and now I'm starting to wake up at 11:30 instead of as late as I have been.
7 yesterday, and then Oh, well, I got 2%. Oh, I almost got 2%. Yo, almost got 2%.
Oh, awesome.
That would have been sick.
Oh, speaking about video games and like disappointments and stuff like that, it was kind of funny because I decided a couple of months before it came out, because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have the first game for my new PC be like the game that I'm all hyped for and stuff like that, be Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh.
And boy howdy, am I so glad I decided to do that instead of buying it for the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, it was so bad that they had to take it off the market.
I think they just recently brought it back.
Oh, they actually fixed it. Wow. Bravo!
Well, I don't know about fixing it, but I know it's back on the PlayStation Store. At least it was last I checked. It could be back off the PlayStation Store. But regardless of that, I was so happy. Like, this is gonna sound weird, but I was kind of like, I didn't have that many issues with the game. The story was good. The gameplay was good. Like, nothing really, like, extravagant. I was almost a little bit pleased, if you will, that the game turned out the way that it did. Because of how hyped everyone was for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got a town to...
I will admit some of the references were pretty neat.
Speaking of games that we were happy when it first came out, for my PS3, and I remember this, my dad bought me 3 games. Resistance, and I don't do
Wait,
games.
Was Resistance that alien game?
Yeah, and
that was the best.
I was terrified of them. I legitimately refused to play it. I was scared because I was young, and I was scared cat. But and Lego Indiana Jones.
Okay.
I like the Lego Indiana Jones more.
Man, Resistance. I have so many fond memories of Resistance.
Yeah.
You know what game I need to play? Metro.
I'm never gonna. I'm not gonna touch Metro.
Would you be willing to watch somebody play through Metro?
Nope.
Damn. I guess I won't be seeing you whenever I play those games. I got them for free from Epic Games a while back, and
just nope. It's like, why? Because Metro doesn't look interesting. I've seen it. And no, I'm not a huge FPS fan to begin with.
I'm so glad I am a fan of like the different I'm an all genre type of dude. Individual.
It's like I am too. I like FPSs, but it's like I'm more tend to like what I was raised on, which was RPGs. And I gradually Sir,
You know,
Freddy.
these are the game. These are the games that I remember playing fondly. Crash Bandicoot, all three of them, all three of the Spyro games.
Never played a Crash game. I never played the original Crash games.
All three of the Spyro games.
I played the worst one. I played Crash of the Titans.
Tomb Raider 1 and 2. A weird helicopter game called Nuclear Strike. One of my favorite games of like the PlayStation 1. Not my favorite game. That title goes to Metal Gear Solid.
You know, Guilty Gear was on the PlayStation.
Really? I missed out on a lot of fighting games. I think I got to play Mortal Kombat. What was it, 2 or 3?
I played it. I don't like them. I don't like them.
SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs for the PlayStation 2.
I couldn't get past. I played. So I played SOCOM, and I couldn't get past the missions, and I got bored, so I shot my team.
I got so fucking good at with the AI setting everybody up and doing the missions and doing all the objectives and shit like that. Oh, it was so fun.
Then again, I was a kid that only played games on easy mode.
True. That actually stopped. You know what's funny? What stopped for me and what made me start to want to play games on the harder difficulty was when I found out ODT, Get Out or Die Trying, could only be like you could only get the true end if you beat it on the hardest difficulty.
I think I just upped the difficulty because I said, fuck it, I'm not going to play on easy anymore. I got to a point. Great, like, it's not like I didn't enjoy my experience. I will still put a game on easy and play it.
Yeah, I understand that.
I just want to have fun. I don't give a fuck about difficulty. I have enough games to worry about difficulty. Heck, I'm in a fighting game now.
You know what's funny? You saying that made me think like I had PTSD. I literally had a PTSD flashback about the fucking Uncharted series and playing through that on the hard difficulty. Like not the hardest, but oh my god, second to hardest.
In a million years.
Holy shit! I got very bitchy during that series. I played through. There's a couple videos I would highly recommend you guys. Like this is to people who are watching on YouTube as well. Everybody check out because I played through the first 2 games in 23 and a half hours.
Yeah, you were fine with those. In the third game, you were just not having it.
Well, in the third game, there was certain things that got me real aggravated because the way it worked, I've noticed the way that it worked is if you're out of cover and they're shooting, you're getting hit no matter what. Like the bullets actually miss.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Oh god, what do you do now?
So you know how a relay transmission, do they have timers normally?
What type of relay transmission?
It's just a
destroy the relay before the transmission completes. You might have a secret of like. Are you currently concealed?
Yes.
So you might have one of the bonuses.
Stealth insertion.
Yep.
That's what I got.
Where the actual timer doesn't start until you break concealment.
Wow, I got all the time in the world. Then let's go. I can be as slow as I want and not care.
I love how you say that, and a part of my brain immediately said, "And he's still gonna kick your ass."
Or get pretty close to it.
Like the little voice in the back of my head was like, "That's not gonna help you," and I was like, "Even I am against me."
No, you just tell your brain, "Shut up."
Shut.
Just a rock quote. "Shut up, bitch." And then your brain says, "Okay, fine, suffer." Suffer. But it's like, what I grew up with, and what I remember, Golden Axe for the PS2. There was, I swear it was a Golden Axe. I swear if I'm remembering it, it was a fucking Golden Axe. For the PS2, Guitar Hero 3. I was watching my mom also play Final Fantasy 12.
I had a buddy bring over the Guitar Hero games, and we spent like 2 days straight just fucking blaring loud, like shaking the windows loud, just fucking rocking out.
I was jumping on my bed the entire time as a kid.
It was awesome. Like, it was one of those situations where we didn't have it that loud at the time, and my dad's like, "What's that click and clacking sound?" And we were like, "Well, we're doing the guitar, right? Guitar Hero playing with the guitar." And he goes, "Nah, we ain't having that." He fucking turned it up as loud as he could get it to where he couldn't. It was a little louder than that, but to where he couldn't hear the click and clacking anymore. My mom comes home and goes, "What the fuck is going on? Turn that shit down." Oh shit.
It's like, yeah, you just point fingers. Yeah, it was him.
And it was like, she knew immediately who it was.
I still remember my dad saying, "Don't jump on your bed." I proceeds to jump on my bed.
What is it with kids doing that?
Like, I don't care. I am playing Guitar Hero. I am rocking the fuck out. Let me do me. And it's still good memories. And I still love a lot of the songs that were on that set list. And I still remember a lot of them. And it took me like years to track down another guitar. And the guitar I have, the fucking like the strum thing is slightly broken.
Ah, that's rough.
Not externally, internally.
Yeah, I figured that's what it was.
I want to scream.
No,
so you know that. So you know that button that you use to connect to the wireless thing for your PS3? Yeah, I'm using that to strum. I'm working with what I got.
That's ingenuity right there.
Big brain. I'm not gonna deal with a glitchy game. I'm gonna deal with a small button.
That's
Fuck
funny.
You.
No, I'm also thinking about it. You want to know how I was able to experience Grand Theft Auto?
How?
A family friend who, for the longest time, was obsessed with those games.
I feel like
Every time a Grand Theft Auto came out, mind you, I shouldn't have been playing because of how young I was, but
okay,
every
no
time.
one should be playing GTA until they're like 18. Let's be fair.
Yeah, let's be honest. When you playing GTA, when you're 12, 13, 14, when should you be playing it? Not until you're like 18, 20, between them.
Even then.
Yeah, those games are fucking fucked up. And Metal Gear Solid.
Okay, to be fair, GTA 5 wasn't that bad if you just played online. If you didn't play the story at all, it wasn't that bad.
GTA 5? True.
That one was not bad.
It took me a moment to I had to think about it for a minute, how it went, and
yeah, online wasn't that bad.
But I'll never forget. It came out on the PlayStation 2, right?
Which one? San Andreas?
3.
Yeah.
Okay. It was a little bit after I got a PlayStation 2. The game that came with it, or the game that I got with the PlayStation 2, was SOCOM, U.S. Navy SEALs. And I remember a lot of the game that I played on the PlayStation 2 was also Metal Gear Solid. But that series, Metal Gear Solid, and Grand Theft Auto, I was introduced to from the family friend that I'm talking about. And he shows up with this game, and I don't know what it is. I'm young, dumb, idiot myself. I'm like, oh cool, thank you, family friend, for giving me game. I will play now. And I'll never forget my mother giving him this look of like, you get him that. You got him that. And she was like, oh, whatever. Fucking, I put this on, and within the first, fucking 5 minutes, you get betrayed, you get shot in the face after your ally gets shot in the face, and you somehow survive.
That's so fucking tame compared to the new ones now.
I know, but think about this. When it came out, that was like, holy shit.
Yeah, and then now we have kids. Not kids, but parents letting their children play God of War. The older ones, newer one, go right ahead. I don't care. If I had a kid and they want to play God of War PS4, go right ahead.
I was just about to say, the story's so good and it's like very tame. Like
This sword's not bad. It has
there's
nothing
little
about
to
it.
no blood. Like it's very tame compared to the other ones. The other ones have
Really
sex
tame.
mini games and shit, and it's like what?
Yeah.
Not as bad as the $20 million cost that Rockstar had to give out. Remember that? For San Andreas, the hot coffee shit.
I didn't hear about it till like way after it happened.
Same. You want to know when I figured out about it? I figured out about it playing Grand Theft Auto 4. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 4, when you were in a relationship with the like, you get in a relationship with her on a mission, and and after you ask to come in for coffee, she goes, "Oh, that cost us $20 million." Like, what? And I looked into it, and I was like, "Oh, that's what coming in for coffee means." First of all, second of all, wow, how did that? Wow, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, some people messed up.
But I mean, like, to also be fair, this is something that will open up a lot of people's eyes. What was raunchy back then, it's so tame now.
I know, it's weird thinking about that. Like nowadays, I'll tune into somebody streaming. They're talking about like they have their feet put up on the desk, and people are like, that's normal. Like people are freaking out about the feet in a weird way, and that's normal.
Yep, that's normal. Back then, people would just say, "That's just cheap."
Back then, you couldn't show your, like, I'm talking way back then, you couldn't show your damn ankles.
Yeah, but now there's like bathtub streams. So, not bathtub streams.
Hot tub. Whatever. If they're making their dosh, let them make their dosh.
Close enough.
I at this stage, I don't care anymore. If it's okay for Twitch, it's okay for me.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm not gonna say anything bad about my coworkers, I guess.
like I don't fucking care.
I don't care.
Like, at this point.
It used to bother me. The only thing that bothers me now is the fucking nude yoga shit on YouTube. That infuriates me. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, nude yoga.
Wait, what?
Not shitting you. Nude yoga is a thing.
Learn something new every day.
And that's like the only thing nowadays that actually ticks me off. That should not.
I'm just saying there, like, at this point, who the fuck cares?
Well, the reason it aggravates me isn't because it's nude yoga. It aggravates me because there is a time and a place
on Twitch.
I know there's a time and a place for certain things to be exposed to individuals of potentially certain ages. YouTube is very easy for anybody. Like, yeah, Twitch possibly the same situation, but for the most part, there's not stuff like that on here, and there should never be stuff like that on this platform. I don't think, right? Same for YouTube. I don't think there should be that kind of content that blatantly on YouTube. That's the only thing that aggravates me at this stage, though. Anything else, whatever. Have your hot tub streams, have your fucking ASMR bullshit. I don't care.
And again, like I said, with the rise of VTubers, it's just kind of like, there's subcategories now for people. Some people will never watch a single person that will have a legitimate face cam. They would only watch VTubers, and that's fine.
Funny, I made a joke before the VTuber stuff came like blew up like it did.
Mainstream, like now it's well, it's not even mainstream. It's still kind of
it exploded over the last last year, honestly. And I remember 2 years ago. I remember 2 years ago. 2 years ago, yeah, very very true. She caused waves all over.
For no fucking reason.
Because of jealousy.
I guess, yeah.
That's the only thing that I could equate it to of why she created so many waves on.
To be fair, she's wholesome.
I mean,
she's actually kind of wholesome.
Yeah. I'm thinking about the multitude of sites she is associated with when I think about this.
But then again, it's like, just because of that doesn't mean she isn't Wholesome.
I'm not gonna lie, I fucking watched both. Which and the other. Whatever. It's fucking hilarious. Both are hilarious. But whatever.
He definitely has a knack for content.
Yes. Yes. Yes, she does.
Take that as you will. Take that. Take
What's
that as
okay,
you
this is
will.
funny because I love how lewd the VTubers are. Like,
Yeah, and how
that's-
lewd is an actual fucking term now.
yes, I love that. I love that.
I was just for the weebs, and now it's like, yes. And the VR chat community blew the fuck up. Like, VR chat blew up again because of the VTubers. And so many people that just thrived in VR chat were now using those models that they had in VR chat as their models.
It's phenomenal to see stuff like that. You know what? It's so hilarious because I've been looking through certain clips and seeing how old certain clips are, and I've been going, this
There's people that
individual,
pioneered it.
this individual now is like, it's the perfect time for them to be existing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's weird how quickly that shit exploded to me, though. You know what I mean? Like, it was almost an overnight thing. I heard about Melody. I heard about Project Melody. I'm like, oh, what's this? I looked into it and I was like, oh.
It's the same.
Oh.
Ironically, it's the same thing that happened with Kazuna AI.
Yeah, Kazuna AI was something I was aware of, but it wasn't like, it wasn't
She's a DJ now.
good music. Yeah, I know. I've been listening to some of the music. It's awesome.
Really good music. Really
Awesome
good
music.
I know, great. And on top of that, her signature line, "Fuck you."
I know. I was trying not to laugh when you were about this. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Signature line. Like the video, I recommend. I sent it to you. If anyone can find it, she legitimately has a interview of the different ways she says "fuck you."
Oh my! I gotta watch this after stream.
I could find it real quick. And I'm
Ugh.
just like, it's just like it is, like, while you're right, "Fuck you."
You got out a little bit there. That was perfect.
God, that's.
You were saying that, and the way the "you" cut out was perfect. I'm so, you know what? I'll be honest. One of my favorite, like one of my best decisions, like that was
swear is "fuck you" is just fuck.
my favorite cuss word is fuck as well. There's actually this Netflix thing I watched that was like the history of swears or something like that, or
Nicolas Cage.
yeah,
presents.
that was actually a really good series.
Another Netflix series I highly recommend is called Myth, Monsters, and Legends.
I think I've seen it, but I've not like watched it. I've seen it on
Watch it
the thing, but I haven't watched it yet.
because they will go in depth about what makes a hero, what's so generic about some of the stories, and what trends that they follow. And they tell you about stories of old. It's actually great. And
That's
the one
awesome.
trend that they follow, it was either this or game, but I think they also went over this, is the hero is chosen, and from a non-monarch and stuff like that, like a random person has been chosen. They go on this adventure, they go through their first conflict, and then after that, they succeed and proceed after they get rewarded for it. They go through their second, which is the midpoint, where they either talk to a person, get more information, or understand the location.
So this sounds like a little bit Dungeons and Dragons-y almost.
It's kind of generic storytelling.
That's the word I was looking for.
And the thing is, and then the last one's like, he overcomes great obstacles that are stopping him from moving, and then he proceeds to be praised as a hero, or something like that.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
It is generic storytelling, don't get me
Sure.
wrong, and it's follows.
Sometimes
every
that's the
mythology.
best type of storytelling.
It's in every mythology. If you point it down to, it's in every mythology. Hercules had that. Thor had that actually.
I still can't get over like.
Some in Japanese mythology. Egyptian, I think, had it. Egyptian did have it.
Oh, here's okay. For some odd reason, this conversation has like had me thinking about G4 TV. Does that name ring any bells at all?
None.
Okay, so G4 TV was like, if you had cable, you would go to it to watch about video games coming out and like all kinds of
You mean something that only boomers watch? So.
Well, I'm 26, so whatever generation I am, because I know I'm not a boomer. Whatever my generation is.
Just say, okay, booed.
Motherfucker, I'm gonna alt tab. I'm gonna alt tab right now to look up what my generation is. You little bitch.
Millennial, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, hey, I don't need to be intelligent to be entertaining. I'm gonna fucking look it up anyways to see
It's millennial.
what they all are. I know what it is now that you said it, but I don't care. I'm still alt tabbing to look it up so I could say, ha, I'm exactly what you said I was. I was saying this earlier.
I had to take the jab. I saw it.
One of my like the favorite things I decided to do was to start streaming, just to like this kind of shit, to be able to create content with other people or just shoot the shit with people that I randomly met 2 years ago. And fuck, it's been a long time.
Your fucking stream.
Oh god, I probably shouldn't have done
this.
You
underestimate my power.
You underestimate my power. Don't try it. That was such a dumb scene. I love it though.
You son of a bitch.
Ugh, I hate sand. Coarse, and rough, and
but
it's everywhere.
We went from D&D to games to this. I'd like to acknowledge that.
It's just random conversations over the last 2 hours.
Another thing I'm starting to do is I'm starting to get out of my shell. And I'm terrified to talking to new people. Especially if I join a community. I will never say anything in their Discord. Ever.
Why, any particular reasons for that or no?
I just have nothing to say. Like, I don't know what to say.
I meant a little more you coming out of your shell. Any particular reasons for that?
I just said, fuck it. That's it. Fuck it. I'm gonna do it.
Well, that's thumbs up. I need to blow my nose, so I'm gonna step away from the mic a little bit because.
Why are you blowing your fucking nose?
I am. Give me 1 second. Literally too lazy to mute myself, and I took my headphones off.
I'm laughing at it. Put generic movie sound blowing nose here. Tomb.
Ha! I'm iGen or Gen Z. I'm not a millennial.
So what you're telling me?
Because I was born in '95, and that's when births start. Because the way it works is Generation A, Generation X. Or boomers. I think.
From 1960s.
1965 to 79. Xennials.
Wait, why that much? I would just say if they're from the 60s or under.
Xennials is 75 to 85. Millennials are 80 to 94, and Gen Z is 95 to 2012. So the next is Zoomers, I think, are what the current generation is.
Zoomers.
Why the fuck?
We could be idiots together.
As long as it's funny, I don't care. As long as anybody watches this and they get a laugh out of it, I'm happy.
Hey, there's 3 faceless. Joe, Mo, and Co.
You mean the 3 Stooges?
No, I said the 3 faceless. Joe, Mo, and Co.
I could imagine that being an actual series in this world. Why can I imagine that being an actual series in this world?
Because we played Xcom too much.
True. When you start getting X 100 hours into a game, it starts to become like your brain starts to think about stuff that makes no sense. There's this one streamer I follow. I can't remember again. Literally, it always sucks when I have the name on top of my head, then I start talking about it and it's like, it's gone.
So what I was going to talk about again?
They consistently talk about, or not talk about, but they consistently play the Metal Gear Solid games, right? And as much as I love those games, I couldn't do that. I couldn't just back to back to back to back to back, play nothing but that. You know?
It's rare when I find a game I can actually like play like Marathon.
I mean, XCOM.
Hey, Zoom, I'm going to throw some XCOM trivia in your way.
Oh God.
Do you use cover against the faceless?
No.
Good, you're not a fucking idiot.
Reloading ammunition.
And I know how that sounded, and you will take it to.
I mean, I took it as a compliment, a really good compliment.
Because I have the habit of putting cover for everyone, and I did that. You know, you have to break that habit.
Yeah. You know what's helping me? You know what helped me break the habit of the cover thing?
Doing that race with me.
Valkyria Chronicles.
That would make sense.
That game.
Valkyria Chronicles tells you outright.
I can see that's a game that I could definitely see how the speed run would go.
Oh, the speed run is like sick to watch. Like it's actually pretty cool.
Maybe I'll. You know what I might do?
All hostiles are down and the area is secure.
I don't know if a audio reaction would be. Yeah, fuck it. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Anyways, you got me distracted. Oh yeah, I couldn't do that. I couldn't play one game over and over. Even though I like could definitely play for 24 hours. Games I could play for 24 hours straight without having to like. This game, I could play this for 24 hours.
I couldn't. It's just too dull for me to play for 20. Like it's fun in short bursts, but if non-short bursts, it's dull.
Valkyria Chronicles, I could play that one for 24 hours. Dwarf Fortress for sure. I know I played Dwarf Fortress for a whole weekend one time. What?
You have with Uncharted.
Well, 23 and a half, so. The only reason I couldn't continue it, though, I was gonna. My goal was to play all 3 games in one sitting, and I was gonna be able to do it, but I had like something came up and I had to step away and deal with that something, and then right after that I said fuck it and passed out after I finished what I needed to finish.
Yeah, because once you're out of the
mindset of I'm gonna do this, your brain just says, and you're done.
No, basically once you're out of the what I like to call the zone, you're done in the water.
Well, you're right, because I'm thinking about it, and I remember playing. I wanted to do a 24-hour stream of. Oh, you know what game I played for 25 hours?
Oh.
It was my first 24-hour stream. I played. Cyberpunk 2077.
Yo, why does the Stun Lancer have 2 faceless bodyguards?
I have no idea. But it's funny because I wanted to, I'm so glad the conversation naturally came back to Cyberpunk, because I actually wanted to mention, I'm not, now to me, Cyberpunk didn't fail, but I'm pleased that it turned out the way that it did, not because of anything negative towards the company or anything like that, but more because of how people were reacting, that it was going to be the greatest game of all time, and this and that, and it's like, guys,
the company on a pedestal.
Yeah, and honestly, it wasn't really the company itself's fault. It was the
fans.
The fans and the higher ups. The higher ups rushed, like they were like, "It's coming out now," and they were like, it's not ready."
The annoying thing is, higher up, like this is the difference between gamers, companies, and investors. Investors want to make money as fast as they can.
Yep.
And that 9 times out of 10 could ruin the quality of the game. The reason why
9 times out of 10 it does ruin the quality.
Yeah, it does. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes. But the annoying thing is, and this is what I like about God of War, is we didn't hear anything about God of War for like 5 years.
Even now.
And they come in swinging, saying, here's the new God of War. And it is fantastic, it is well written, it's well done, the story was nice, and it's changing pace.
Just before I started recording for YouTube and streaming, I played through that game for my dad. That was a interesting thing, because he was so into it.
And if people say, well, yeah, they were given time, I would make this argument.
Did you see the documentary? The
For God of War?
yeah, the making of.
Nope.
You gotta watch that documentary. If you already know the entirety of the story and all that, because there is some spoilers for it. It's like the making of Kratos or whatever. It is such a good documentary.
The thing is, what I like, and I mean this 110% when I say this, they didn't have crunch time, or they didn't have a time limit.
No, I get what you're saying.
Because it was not announced. People were just like, well, that's the end of God of War, because it ended off nicely.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, that's the end of God of War. Move on.
I think there were a couple people that were a little skeptical. Like there was a handful of people that anytime you make big changes to a game, most of the time there'll be a lot of skeptics. Like Grand Theft Auto 5, which it might not be my favorite Grand Theft Auto, but it's up there. When I first heard that you could switch between protagonists, I was like, they may have just ruined Grand Theft Auto, right? Like, how the hell are they gonna make that work? Being able to switch between protagonists.
And
To
they
me,
did it just fine.
they made it work real well.
Hey, we had GTA 5 before it came out. It was called Watch Dogs.
Commander, please thank our troops for completing
True,
the surely
ish,
difficult
kinda.
task in acquiring the codex
Kind of.
brain. And work on it as
I
soon as
weirdly didn't have that thought process.
Whoa.
My thought process is, let's go another God of War. That's it.
Oh well, no, the same. When I first heard about God of War, I fucking the fastest I've ever gotten from one place to the next because I was so hyped up. I was like, fuck yeah.
The aliens are
Like, I ran down, I was telling my parents it was coming out, and they're like, what the fuck is going on, dude? And I was like, I'm hyped, I'm excited, the God of War's coming out.
I expect it will take some time.
And I never really thought much of it. I was just anticipating for it. Because I did enjoy God of War Ascension. I did enjoy that. I found it kind of multiplayer was unneeded. I'm gonna be blind that. It was very unneeded. But
What?
God of War Ascension. The
Oh,
only one
Ascension.
that had multiplayer.
You said God of War, and I was like, wait, what? I only know a little bit about Ascension.
Ascension had multiplayer.
Isn't
and
that a
it was
prequel?
Yeah, it was a prequel.
It's dark.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't mind it.
Tank and it's mostly
I didn't mind it at all.
This ship isn't all that different
Because
from
it was
others.
the you were fighting the fates. That's why I didn't mind it.
Is that a good I didn't mind it, or a bad I didn't mind it?
That was a good. I liked it.
Okay.
It was enjoyable. Just like sit through and honestly play it. People that would say that it wasn't was because they were getting repetitive with their combat. Very.
Your troops seem to have had
And I'm
no
not gonna
trouble
deny that.
dispatching the latest alien
I'm
threat,
gonna be blunt on that.
Commander.
They were getting
Excellent
repetitive.
work.
I agree with that.
Hopefully the assets you
But
recovered
what made it
will
so
prove
nice
useful.
for me anyways. I had it engineering this entire time and I had it doing nothing this entire time and fucking stupid.
It happens. I probably have.
Soldiers took some hits during the most recent
Oh, I was just about to. Okay, good.
But I enjoyed it. The multiplayer wasn't that bad. It was kind of meh. It's like a meh. But I'm glad
That
they
is a
kinda
weird
just-
game that, like, to think about having multiplayer.
It made sense with the story. The people that were chained up in the Fates place became the worshippers, the gods, and you were going to choose your god. I think I chose I chose Ares at them, and that's how they kind of roped you in. Of like, this is why multiplayer is here, and it's kind of dumb. The people that were playing it, there were certain modes where only noobs were playing, and I was playing that too, so I was kind of dominating.
You want to know what my first online experiences was in a video game?
Hmm.
Saints Row the Second.
Saints Row the third is. I thought you were gonna say the third. The third was so cool.
Third was
The third
extremely awesome.
Saints Row found their identity in third.
But it's kind of funny because I played through the first game, the second game. I'm trying to think about online
only played the
experiences, and I know I never played online on PlayStation 2.
There was a way to do it.
I know, but I never had that capability. I had to, for a while, rely on wireless internet connection for the PlayStation 3.
Oh no, I've always relied on that.
I'm
Never really had wired.
Wired is a little bit more.
Wired's better.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it isn't because I've had it, but it was so minuscule because my internet was 5 megabytes per second. It
Gotcha.
didn't mean shit. It had a stable, like, first of all, I never lagged. I never lagged in games because I had that. It was very stable, but it took a long time to download shit. Like, people measure megabytes per second, like, well, you had slow ass internet. It's just like, I didn't know. Like, I was able to play
If
online
it works,
games
it works.
fine. Yeah, it worked. And then when I tried doing the wired connection for this internet, they gave us pods that you could use. And it fucked up my internet so much. I'm better, like, I was getting 40 megabytes per second on something that I normally get 100 without them. So I got rid of the pods, and I haven't used them since.
All right.
And
I mean, I'm satisfied with what I got going on for my internet. It allows me.
like, yeah, you want a wired connection. Don't get me wrong. Like, everyone wants a wired connection.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you can't get it, you can't get it.
Well, here's what's awesome about the internet that I'm using. It allows me to stream, have an online game going on, while my parents are doing shit on the internet as well. So, like,
Well,
I'm more than satisfied with that.
what's convenient? My dad barely uses the internet,
Nice.
and when he does, I do lag. But
It's few and
Since he
far in
doesn't-
between, I would assume.
Yeah.
It's something you can deal with.
yeah, I can deal with it. And like, because like, A, I have to be playing a game that relies on internet. B, it has to be that rare moment when it starts lagging. C, he works, and I'm in the house alone half the time. And I have all the time in the world. And since he normally just watches TV and goes on the laptop for an hour a day, I kind of just, I'm in control of the internet. He even lets me have control over it. I made the password for it. I picked the bundle that we were going to have
Nice.
because he knows I use it. It's not like, oh, well, you know, it's like, he knows flat out he barely uses it. I'm the one that uses it 24/7. I need the internet more than he does, basically.
Well, I mean, that's pretty cool. Really cool. If I start to taper down in my conversation input, it's because I'm starting to get, like, tired very fast.
Oh, I'm starting to too, but it's like, we say end an hour early.
Yeah.
Does that sound fair?
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
fair. It's crazy how busy, like, how exhausted you get just doing the simplest stuff. And I say simplest kind of with quotation marks because going up and down a ladder isn't really that simple for what I was doing. But it's just
What's funny is I'm taking a stroll. I'm just taking a stroll through Xcom, and you're like so far ahead, but in the back of your head, it keeps on telling you, you know, he's going to catch up.
I'm taking a stroll. I'm taking a stroll as well. I'm barely even paying attention to what I'm doing. I think I just did one mission. That's all I've done over the last 2 hours.
I've done 2 missions.
Yeah.
3 missions actually. Yeah.
Well, the later on in the game you get the
Although I would, I find it
the longer the missions get.
least that the subject so often
yes and no.
Past as the
Depends what mission.
True.
has now been revealed to actually be a genetic
I just got an
Resistance
improved
is
swords
running in that
breakthrough.
map.
reptilian creature. I will begin our research immediately.
That's awesome.
I will say with Guilty Gear, and like, so. Well, let me describe the ranking system and why I'm also recommending this game to people that are brand new to fighting games. They made it casual friendly.
This is for Guilty Gear Strive? Okay.
Yep.
It's the game that's slowly becoming on my list. I need to watch some content of it just to get a feel for it. Probably gonna watch Maximilian, dude.
Honestly, it's a 20 gigabyte game, and when you look at it, it doesn't look like it's a 20 gigabyte game. But
Well,
I swear to God, it's a 20 gig game.
Well,
And
it's
it looks
funny.
so good.
It's funny because to me, I'm not a big proponent of like it has to be the most realistic looking game. It has to have the best graphics of a game.
I don't care about
Like, I
that
don't-
shit.
Mechanics and story are like the two most important things for me. If the gameplay is good, I'm satisfied. Even if there's no story, the story helps though, right? And vice
Yeah,
versa. If the
that's what story
if the gameplay mechanics aren't the best, but the story's fantastic, I'm all for it. Like for me, a game is either made or made or broken.
Made or grade, yes.
Yes, made or broken
110%.
by those
What
specific
the
things.
fuck is that body doing?
Like the mechanics of this game, they're great. The story, it exists.
Fuck it. The game's not treating me right. Let's do a reset. And I quit the desktop. Bravo, go me. I love how casually I say that too.
I can't stop laughing. You're like,
Game ain't treating me right. Okay, yeah, let's
I'm gonna reset. Oh,
And what's funny is, you can't even argue to be like, oh well, I got plenty of time. You have nothing to cheese it.
it's not even just the nothing to cheese it with. It's also like.
Like, how
I'm
can
laughing
you
because
put
I just got
this?
2 notifications about you playing this game on Steam.
Yeah, I totally didn't add something quit.
That's great. Oh,
Whoopsie. But with Guilty Gear Strive, the ranking system, is a ranking tower. And what's
Yeah.
nice about it is, if you get, say if like you're ranked 7 and you want to go fight ranked 10s, you can. But you will still be ranked 7, and you can still get demoted to rank 6, rank 5, rank 4 by going on terrible losing streaks. But if you're ranked 7, you can't go down to rank 6 unless you get demoted. You can't, by choice, go to a lower rank than yours.
okay.
And that is a very
That's-
good mechanic.
Kind of awesome, actually, because you can't willingly go down rank. That's phenomenal. Because I always dislike when individuals play multiplayer games, but they purposefully handicap themselves so they could trounce people that aren't as skilled as them.
And to be fair, I'm very selective of who I fight. There's some characters I will just look at them and be like, I'm not fighting you.
Nope.
Nah,
Nope,
oh,
this
no.
shit, I'm out.
I can't fight this character for the life of me? No. And I have those characters. I have like 4 of those characters that I'm like, No.
Are they hard counters to your main, or is it just,
basically, yeah.
okay.
They have range. They can hit me, and my longest attack can't hit them.
Communications facility upgraded.
Well, I was just wondering because I
They
remember watching,
outrange me.
I was
and it
watching
annoys me.
some, what's it called?
What?
Evo content? Whatever it was, some esports stuff regarding fighting games. And that's why I know a little bit about like the hard counters. Certain fighters are hard counters to other fighters and stuff like that. And there's a part of my brain that goes,
it's not
I don't
like I can't win against those characters.
I don't know if I'll
Right.
ever be like a hardcore fighting game player, just because of the fact that I never knew there was such a thing as counter, like this fighter counters this. It makes sense, but at the same time my brain was like, nah, every fighter can beat every fighter. Yes, but actually no.
Every fighter can beat every fighter, and don't kill yourself. But some of them have advantages over others.
Yes.
That's people say, oh, there's no way you could beat this character with this character. It's like, that's false.
You underestimate my power.
It doesn't matter about the character you play. It matters on how you play it. You can play a basic fucking character and climb. Or you can play a very complicated character and be stuck.
I mean, I'm like a idiot savant when it comes to fighting games. I might never be the best player, but I pick them up fast.
I mean, like I said, it took me 3 days to get the 4-8. Let me repeat, 3 days. And
True.
this is my first Guilty Gear.
True.
Like,
I
okay,
almost made a joke comment, but I know that joke comment would like have people wanting to rip my head off. Well, all fighting games are kind of similar if you really think about it. Like that's the exact
that hurt
words.
My head just
Yeah,
by hearing.
yeah. It hurt me thinking it.
That's like
like
me saying this. All stealth games are the same.
I couldn't even say it the way that my brain actually wanted me to say it, which was, if you really think about it, all fighting games are the same.
Hey,
Ugh.
Toom.
So
Hey,
fucking
Tim.
gross. What?
Splinter Cell and Metal Gear are the same game, so why can't you enjoy both of them at once?
Well, it's funny. I never said anything negative about Splinter Cell, first of all. Right? Second of all, I've never played a
what's your
Splinter
second?
Cell. What?
What's your second? You said first. What's your second?
And second of all, I've never played a Splinter Cell game, so I don't know.
No, you've played one because you played Metal Gears, and they're the same thing.
I'm just gonna let that blow past me.
Yeah.
Well, no, I was saying that obviously as a joke, because I know that's not truthful at all. Like,
I know, but still, I'm going to take that jab back.
it hurts. It hurts.
It
trust me.
hurts to hear. Like,
Just saying
if
it,
people-
saying it hurts to say.
it
like-
fucking hurts to hear that shit.
If you played fucking, you have to spend a lot of time learning a character's skills, and
Conveniently,
all that.
I know how ironic this is. Conveniently, I knew that character very well because it had the same kind of moveset as another character from a different fighting game.
yes, but I bet a lot of those moves had different button combos.
Kind of similar.
Your words though, kind of similar. They're not exactly the same.
Not the same.
Timing
Like,
and the timing. That's the other thing too. You got to think about timing's gonna be different.
I actually picked the character that is most noob friendly to it, and just because the character is noob friendly, and I will point this out completely, just because the character is easy, and it's meant for noobs to enjoy, doesn't mean they're not good.
I was just about to say the same thing.
The most, well, he's kind of like a medium. He's not really complicated, but there's a character that's in their own fucking tier.
Huh.
He has option for everything and crazy good damage. And I hate fighting him. It's not like I can't fight him. I do fight him. But I just dislike fighting him. Just dislike. It's not like I can't. Because he's on the list of I can fight them, but I just dislike it.
It's kind of funny because I was thinking about it just then, and you talking about don't lose it, brain. Come on.
Sky Ranger deployed.
And it's gone.
Mission for deployment.
Shit. I hate when that happens.
Error 404 has happened.
Yep, nope, I've totally lost it. It slipped straight
File
through my
not
fingers.
found.
It's gone.
It's gone. Shipped.
Oh, there we go. This isn't exactly what I wanted to say, but it's close to it. I was gonna talk about just the general mechanics of like
Every fighting
Naruto
game is
Ultimate Shippuden Storm. That series is totally different to this fighting game, which is totally different to another fighting game, so on and so forth.
not fighting game, show that. Smash Bros. Is
Yeah.
different. It's different than Guilty Gear.
You know who my main is on Smash Brothers, Super Smash Brothers?
Who's your mate?
Just take a wild guess.
Oh, clearly not Snake. You hate him.
Yeah, exactly. No, it actually like when I was first playing it, my buddy was like, "Yeah, these characters are classified as like trap characters or whatever, and they're kind of difficult to learn." 3 matches, and I was like starting to pick up some ridiculous shit you could perform. I couldn't do that ridiculous shit, but my brain was like, "You could do this if you time it right." But yeah, no, Snake is actually my main. My second.
I mean the worst trope. in
Who?
Smash. Sword fighters.
Okay.
I mean sword fighters, and there's
Hey!
people that hate. And I mean hate sword fighters.
I don't
Not because
have an
like, not
issue
because
with
they're
that.
hard. Just because there's so many.
Yeah, I don't have any issue with it because they're in the game. They're a part of the game. Like, I don't.
I will say Byleth got into the game a bit early.
What's up?
Fire Emblem comes out 6 months later. Byleth is in the game.
Oh yeah, I remember having these conversations. I am also of a
I
like.
like Byleth, to be fair. but-
Here. This is gonna blow your mind. I bet. I've never played a Fire Emblem game.
Like Fire Emblem Three Houses, it's actually one of the best ones.
All right, I'll
Not
have
even
to
kidding.
keep that in mind.
And not kidding, it was actually one of the best ones.
Um,
It did completely different dynamic. It's good.
I will say, depending on like, I've been watching some video like updates on. This is like off the wall, left field. My brain just started running with it, just so you know. But Dwarf Fortress, which is a game that's getting an official Steam release. I've been watching like interviews basically with the creator of that game, and he's the type of person that's like, the game's gonna come out when it comes out. Nothing's set in stone. I'm never gonna like say a date or anything like that because I'm horrible at predicting dates. But some people have predicted that based on how fast I'm doing certain things, that there's like within the next 2 years it'll be coming out of like the final release in quotation marks on Steam. And when that happens, I'm probably gonna do at least a 24-hour stream of that game on stream. Because my favorite computer game is Dwarf Fortress. That game, I have so many hours in that game. When I was
Seems like
first...
you're biased.
What?
Seems like you're very biased, too.
You want to know what happened the first time I played it? You can probably watch some like reviews of it, like comedy reviews of it, and get a good information. But the first time I ever played that game, I went into a damn desert and died. Like all my dwarves died. The second time, beavers interrupted me, or badgers or whatever it was. Something interrupted me and killed one of my dwarves, and then I started getting the hang for it. Oh, that game. It's basically like an ultra form of games like RimWorld. Have you heard about game like RimWorld?
Nope. I don't play those types of games.
Well,
I know of them. I just don't play them.
good enough. That's good enough. Basically, imagine what you know about RimWorld. Multiply it by like 6 to 10, and that's Dwarf Fortress. At least in my mind. Other people will probably prefer RimWorld more because like it's more graphically obvious of what's going on and more straight to the point, where Dwarf Fortress has a lot of layers. Like an onion. Has a lot of layers.
Good to go.
Speaking of Mike Myers, Austin Powers.
A new one coming out?
Should be.
Speaking of old series getting new theatrical releases, Jackass 4, or Jackass Forever, I should say.
Never. Yeah, I've seen that one.
How, it hasn't come out yet. Hey,
Well, you know,
I'll-
because I know the future.
I'll see
you know.
myself out. I'll see myself out.
You don't got time. You won't even have time to leave the building.
As soon as I said it, I couldn't help but laugh because I'm like, he probably has this look on his face right now. I'm like, if I could, I would
Boom,
slap
You're
you.
gonna be a great father.
Oh God. as soon as I fucking said that,
You want to hear another one? A lot of women can call you daddy now.
I'm not gonna touch that one for many reasons.
Yeah. Hey, I got jokes that could shut people up.
I mean, it's
Reset number 6. Let's go, cause I hid that mission layout.
oh, I don't even know what the fuck's going on in the game anymore. We're at that stage right now.
Oh, that's it. Just, you know what? I'm gonna throw this out there. If you are 2 missions away from the Avatar project, 2 missions, I'm allowed to restart the run on rookie. And see if I can beat you.
I have no idea if that would even be possible. You actually kind of stunned, like you literally stunned me for a minute. I stopped moving and everything. I was like, how would you be able to do that? 2 missions?
You'd be 2 missions away from the Avatar project. Like 2
I mean,
missions
mind
from
you, I still
doing the
gotta
Avatar.
kill all the chosen, all the rulers.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But, so say, what, as soon as you hit that 2 mission mark, even if you have all the chosen still alive, you're still 2 missions away from that Avatar project.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
And then I could just go on rookie and be like, speedrun this.
Honestly, I don't. At this stage, I don't care. This is not. We're not like
see if I can-
tournament of legends.
It was the start of Tournaments of Legends, and I did a bunch of resets.
Did a bunch of resets, and we had like have been just basically using this as a way to bullshit every week. Once a week, basically talk about whatever crosses our mind, and somehow,
Podcast. But
somehow,
on stream.
that actually might be a good idea.
I am big brain.
Just have a game going in the background when we talk about shit and label it like whatever game we want. You could play whatever you want, I could play whatever I want. Maybe we could get some other individuals to come into like
still
War
have
Dog.
my Snake Amiibo that I haven't opened yet.
I mean, if you want to keep it closed and whatever, do so.
Keeping it closed. I am never opening it.
Good, good.
So let's put on the topic as: are you a collector? What do you consider yourself a collector?
Yes, I have a money collection that occasionally I add coins to it.
Would you spend $1,000 for a statue?
A statue?
A video game statue? Yes. At 1K.
It would have to be. I don't know if I would, in all honesty. Even like the only way I could see myself paying $1,000 for a statue is if it was like multiple characters, like in different poses or whatever, or something like that.
It's one character. and
One
it's-
character.
One character, and it's like a tall statue. It's not like, and it's well detailed.
Well detailed, realistic,
Basically,
like
You're
realistic
getting what you
size
paid
statue. Hmm.
well, not real. Like, say
Maybe.
half your arm size. Like, just think about that.
Maybe. See, for me, it's hard for someone like me to be like, yeah, no, I would spend that much money on anything because memorabilia, I guess I could say, isn't really like it's not something that really appeals to me like that.
Oh, that's actually crazy. First pod had the commander. Fuck, I fucked up. I have to reset because I forgot to do skirmisher hideout, so I spawned with
Oh, whoops. That's okay. It's not that bad.
Jeez.
The biggest example for me is the only piece of like video game memorabilia that I would really like. I'm like, this is something I would want. Is when they made it real, a Banshee from the Grand Theft Auto
like a
series.
Shao Kahn's hammer. So what if they made like Shao Kahn's hammer? Would you want that?
No, no, I'm talking like something that I could use, like a vehicle, like I could drive it, a car, something like that.
Now, would you spend 3.5k for 3 statues? Like a statue with 3 characters on it.
Again, probably not.
Do you judge people that do that?
No.
Because
I understand where they're coming from. It's not something I would do, but I understand that kind of shit completely. It's this idea. It's kind of
it's
thing of
something
personal
that they
preference.
love and they
Yeah.
appreciate it so much that they.
I'm gonna
adore it.
restart this mission because I just got 4 people hit with an acid ball.
Bravo. But the most money I have spent on a statue myself, that didn't come with the game, so I'm not counting my classic Sonic on the Sega Genesis. Still a real good. That was a good collector's edition for Sonic Mania. Seriously.
But yeah, I don't judge anybody who buys collector's editions or anything like that for the statues, or they spend X amount of money on statues or whatever.
Because I spent $100 and I got a classic Sonic on a Sega Genesis, and if you turn it on, it says Sega.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's fucking great.
But
And on top of that, you get a pretty good game, Sonic Mania. So,
but yeah, make my jaw drop with how much money you've spent on a statue before.
how much I spent or how much my mom spent on one for me?
Just the most, if you want to say, you don't have to, obviously. Just whatever you feel like. Whatever you feel like.
With
Tell
what
me.
she told me, $500.
All right.
And that statue, I still love. I still like having. I would never sell it. I would never trade it for the world. It has so much meaning to me. Because not only is it my favorite character from my favorite game. Bless you. But,
Sorry, I was having some issues.
but not only my favorite character from my favorite game, but it's from my mom.
True.
And that was my Christmas present.
You know, it's funny
And
I
that
say
was-
that. If one of my parents came up with me and gave me a snake statue that was like $2,000 or whatever, I would fucking cherish it. So,
Yeah, it's like people would think about, well, it's just a stupid statue. The meaning behind why someone would
you
spend that
notice
much-
I didn't when you asked me that question, I didn't say, oh, stupid statue. No, I was just like, it's not like, to me, it's not something that I could utilize in daily life. It's a showpiece. It's an awesome showpiece, but
has
it's not
meaning to the person.
true. That it's sentimental. That's the thing.
And that's the truth. Like, people that collect Funko Pops. I collect a lot of Funko Pops. I have my favorites. And my favorites, I'm going to say this outright, is Pichu. Pichu and Pikachu. They're fucking adorable. And
There's something so funny to me about somebody saying anything with a cuss word regarding Pokemon.
they're fucking adorable,
Oh, that
dude.
fucking rat is awesome.
That rat? Yeah.
Did you?
But
I know you
Pikachu-
probably literally just said this. What's your favorite Pokemon?
Joltik.
Okay.
He's too cute. He's a little like tick
Growlithe.
that I just caught a shiny Growlithe in Pokemon Go.
Oh, nice.
That's fucked. I caught that randomly too. And I only play Pokemon Go at home.
Orders confirmed.
Oh, that's kind of actually crazy.
And I got that shit. Let's go. That's hype. But
I haven't really played a Pokemon game before either. I know about
my
the
very first
animes
DS
and stuff like that.
games- My very first DS games were Pokemon Platinum, Pokemon Diamond, Area, Escaping from Planet 51. I think that was a movie. Where like a astronaut goes to the alien planet and has to escape from it.
Oh, okay.
It was like a cartoon.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
Pokemon
about.
Mystery Dungeon. I never finished Diamond or Platinum because I got stuck. So my very first Pokemon game I sat down and finished, because I didn't even finish Black and White. I got stuck again. Was Pokemon X. And I remember the funniest memory. I taught Snorlax Surf.
What?
I taught Snorlax
But
Surf.
wait, that's illegal.
No ROM hack, no nothing. Base game allowed it.
Okay, sure.
And guess how much damage it did?
No.
Guess how much it did?
Either a stupid amount or too little. There's no in between with you.
Xerneas, a legendary Pokemon, he does 2 HP.
Okay.
And that brought him down to 1 HP, and I caught him with my first Ultra Ball. You know what happened when I saw Mewtwo? Master Ball.
Yep.
Yep, nope. Have a nice day. Bye. I'm not going to bother with you, Mewtwo. Master Ball. Done. Bye. Like, that's how little fucks I gave about the Master Ball. M stands for Mewtwo. Like, that philosophy I had. M stands for Mewtwo.
You know,
Have
I
a
always
nice day.
like thinking about certain things like the Pokemon thing or Digimon or whatever being like
Digimon was fun. The games were.
like actual factual real. How fucking weird would the world be if Pokemon were actually a thing?
Fun fact, because of dimensional theories, it is in a different dimension.
Thank you for saying that.
Hmm.
I mean, for fuck's sake, we recently, I don't remember when it was, but we recently
Watching this.
saw the back of a black hole for the first time and were able to prove some of one of Einstein's theories. I think the big theory of relativity, like actually true or some shit like that. Because we saw the other side of a black hole for the first time.
Think about this. There's a game in the dimensions, in the ether.
Yeah, where,
Of-
oh god.
You are a normal person that has to eat food and work a job that isn't The Sims.
Ugh.
3D realistic world of you could drive cars of our world as a game. And I guarantee you is it based in a fantasy world that has magic. Because people want to experience something they can't have.
So here's my question to you. Is this you saying that this is just a video game? Or are you thinking along the lines of this reality is just a simulation?
I'm thinking this reality is real,
Okay.
but what I'm saying is this is our reality, but someone else thought of it and made a game of it.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So it's like we're living our life. This is normal, but because they probably live in a magic fantasy world that has a fuck ton of magic.
With oh my god, that's just a weird concept. Like dragons are flying around and shit, and you're over here
Yeah,
playing a game
and then-
about normal people, and that's entertainment. Wow, that's
Oh,
fucking
but
weird.
then-
You just blew my mind there. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
no, you really. I thought of it, and it's just like that makes sense.
It
and then-
does, but it's so fucking weird to think about that like that.
And it's like to them, it's like no, these are weird people. This is not normal. And then there's some people that want to live in our world.
That
Think
you
of
just fucking blew my mind. You have no idea.
I say subjects that make people think, and that is scary.
And that's I love see, it's not scary to me. I love thinking about shit like that.
But
Like
that is like
I
Wrap your head
myself am
around
always
that, like-
a big proponent of like the multi-dimension theory, and like there's even parts of me that have made thoughts of like the game that we're playing right now is a world that like is a dimension
Evil
that
Lord
actually
exists,
exists.
and it should be
Yes, exactly. Like in somewhere somewhere in the multiverse, these characters exist.
Or here's another theory that could blow your mind. The world that you create out of creativity could have been your past life.
I actually have some thoughts about that too, like, you know, deja vu and stuff like that. Like
It's like if you create a world of fantasy, that could have been your past life.
I really don't think you should have been able to shoot that like that, you fucking Andromedon bitch. Anyways, through the wall to hit my main character, first of all.
Oh, time for the reset.
I mean, probably, depending on what this fucking fuckface mech does, if he blows up my character.
But it's like, the thing is like, just like how, and I saw someone make a comment of this. You know, like, you know, the fedora guy, basically.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a picture of this, of like an anime chick having a body pillow of that guy.
Oh, that's so weird.
But it's like,
Makes
if
sense.
dimensional theory is correct, which I'm 99% sure it is, because no way in hell it isn't. We got black holes, man.
I mean,
But-
the multiverse theory, I think it's got to be more factual than anything, because just there's so many ridiculous things that could happen. Like, 2 inches, literally less than 2 inches in some cases, make the difference sometimes between life and death. And there's got to be situations where those 2 inches are the 2 inches that mattered. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just like how with time travel, the butterfly effect. You kill a butterfly, a lot of shit happens.
Well, that's why I'm like, to me, time travel being a thing is like, yeah, no, whatever, it is. But time travel in the sense of I'm able to go back in time, change something, then come back, and
Guys,
I come back to the dimension I left is not the time travel
You're going back to a new dimension
that
and you're
you
going to
created.
be- Yeah, and guess what? You're going to be erased from existence, or not. If we want to go with major theories of maybe you do exist and that is that timeline, but you would look differently and your thoughts would be
And that's the thing.
changed.
Hold on, what you just said though, that's one of those things about the what are they called? Shit, paradox. That's a paradox. If you went back, changed something, then went back into the future and then ceased existing,
And that killed you, then
then that future you created wouldn't exist, so you wouldn't have been able to go back in time in order to make the change in the first place that ceased you from existing.
But therefore, if you never changed it, therefore you never died.
Therefore, it would be a bubble, basically. That dimension that
A
you create
time
would be a
loop.
bubble.
I would just call it a time loop.
That, yeah, that would work.
And the best show that ever came across us was Gravity Falls.
True. Gravity Falls is so good.
It's actually really good, dude. It's insane how good it is.
My favorite part about it was the main villain was named Bill Cipher. My name is Billy, so I was just happy that somebody with the name Bill/Billy wasn't a fucking
Sorry for
loser.
laughing. But Bill Cipher's son, Billy Cipher.
I'd fucking be for it because it's this thing of like every time that's like in popular in media or whatever I see somebody with the name Billy, it seems like they are always like
No one's gonna have my fucking name, so I can't relate.
Grant.
No, my first name.
I don't.
I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought
I didn't say
Grant
that
was your
shit on
first name. You tricked me. I thought Grant was your first name.
Grant's a very common name.
That's why I was so. That's why I was so confused. My apologies. My apologies. My apologies. My apologies and my bad.
Apologies, let's go.
Yeah, my
when
apologies.
you're-
A
when you're saying
combination
my
of
bad,
my
you're
bad
also
and
my
my
apologies.
apologies. Sorry about that. What were you saying?
But it's like, no one's gonna really have my name, so I'm just kind of there. But I have more of a cool thing. I could feel like it's just like I have a name that's unique.
That's
and
awesome.
It's kind of nice and not. And basically, the nice thing about it is like, oh, you know, you don't have to deal with a lot of stuff. You can say, hey, yeah, no one will fuck up your name and shit like that. And it's just kind of cool. But another thing that is annoying about it is like you kind of can't, you know, be like, hey, we have the same name, or shit like that.
I'm still kind of stunned by the fact that this whole time I was just assuming your first name was Grant because of your username. That's great.
It doesn't bother me. That's the weird thing.
No, a lot of times, like, most of the time I expect people to like, hey King, Tombs, or hey Tombs, or whatever. So, that is basically...
Hey, fuckface, if you're having a bad...
Yeah, whatever. But that's basically what I'm viewing my future response name as.
Used to it.
Yeah, so like, in the future when people contact me or whatever, it's... I expect some business emails in the future to be like, hey, King Tombs.
It would like freak you out if like, hey Billy.
Not really, because I'm okay with my name being public knowledge. I mean, my YouTube account is Billy Wright because
But the thing is like
of the way they had you set up your account. When I set my account up, I did the name and they fucking didn't use King Tombs. They used Billy Wright, and I'm like, what the fuck?
And it's like, I guess this is how I am now.
I mean, in the future, whenever either I get an editor or I start editing my shit, I'm gonna make a new account that is just like the King Tombs account, and that account is going to be like shortened videos and clips, while the Billy Wright channel is gonna be just archives like this.
But the thing is,
I'm really liking that podcast idea now, damn it.
I told you, I have...
You said that and my brain was like, man, we can just play whatever game we want every Friday after this race. Like, I'm gonna continue calling these...
Guilty Gear and well, okay, not Guilty Gear, because I actually have to...
I'm gonna continue calling this series the race series, but any Friday...
In reality, it's like, eh.
Yeah, any Friday we feel like talking, just maybe not every single week, depending on how things are, but like, I'll call it podcast so-and-so, and yeah. We'll have to see if we can throw other people in at times.
I keep on calling myself stupid, and in a sense, like, I am. And it's not
like
that,
intellectually
like,
or metaphorically?
Like, intellectually, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm pretty stupid intellectually too sometimes.
In reality, it's like, the more and more I think about it, it's like, I'm kind of smart in some things, but I keep on calling myself stupid because how I perform in school.
Oh, you're not very book smart in quotation marks, you're more street smart.
It's not even that. It's just I was lazy. Like, it's not even I wasn't even book smart. When I wanted to, I got 80s.
Okay, laziness. That's not an intelligence thing, that's just a laziness thing.
It's still that, like, I guess that stigma of like, oh, well, you know, this is
because your grades reflect your actual intelligence level.
And it's just kind of like bullshit in so many ways.
It's amazing how fucked up society can make somebody view their self.
Another thing, society just wants you to focus on the negative parts of your life.
I mean,
they amplify it.
Yeah.
It sucks. Especially if you get put on a pedestal. What I like saying is, when you get put on a pedestal, you have to shine like a golden statue and never be cracked. When in reality, some of the people that get onto that pedestal are already glued together. If that makes sense. They have already been cracked. They've already...
No, I know, I get what you're saying. It does make a semblance of sense of what you're, like, trying to get at.
But you're expecting people to be perfect.
See, for me, it's not a thing of... I know people aren't perfect, but it's like...
Perfection, I like saying this and quoting this. Perfection's a lie.
Again, it's...
True perfection is a lie. Because how I treat true perfection, 7.4 billion people have to think that's perfect.
perfection is not a thing that exists in my mindset, in all honesty, because
If you say it's perfect for me, that's different.
yeah, no, but I might say perfect at times when I'm streaming. Like if something happens, that's perfect, or I couldn't have played that any better, something like that. But there is no
It's not
such
gonna be
thing as that
programmed.
when you're referring to something that's not programmed, because even then it's when you say talking
Even
about a video
programs,
game,
people,
yeah,
not every single one will say it's perfect.
yeah. I both agree with you. I don't disagree with you. That's not what I'm saying, but like I agree with you about 95%, let's say, right? Because I think in recent history, people have started to view themselves
They're
less
starting
like that.
to change that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's also
It's
kind
been
of like,
it's been a long and arduous process, because in like the 2000s, the 2005 era, stuff like that, that's when people were still like, oh, if you're not pencil skinny and this like this, you're ugly and fat. And...
but then again, it's also not, because like I said, it's that sense like, yeah, you could say to like a normal individual that, okay, they don't have to be perfect, but let's think about people that we always look up to. We expect them to make no mistake, or the mistakes that they make, we expect them to be very minor.
A lot of people I
When
see are like that.
when in reality,
Oh, holy
that's
shit.
not how life goes.
That's kind of insane.
Hmm.
Guess what my character, my sniper, has in the training center so far?
Hmm.
Ever vigilant, run and gun, guardian.
That's just not bad.
I could literally just move, and then if I get a successful Overwatch shot, there's a coin toss to do another Overwatch shot.
Yeah,
Kind
that's
of
not bad.
phenomenal.
But it's just, I feel like that trend needs to stop.
Yeah,
We need to.
I don't
Stop, like,
if I look up to people, I don't view them as perfect idols of like nothing they can do no wrong, and if they do wrong, then they're pieces of shit. I don't view
so I thought, yeah.
I don't view people like that.
Because
But
now
I do think too many people do view people like that. But
now it's
there's a
gonna be
difference
mentally
to me. There's a
draining on
difference
people.
to me between a mistake and like this
You
person's
deliberately did this.
like legitimately fucked up and like they should be in prison kind of a situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like not gonna name names, but there are some individuals that definitely not be roaming free right now because of the stuff that they have done regarding
Other stuff.
yeah TOS stuff.
Welcome to Twitch. We can't say shit.
Eh,
Why did that rhyme? Why did that actually rhyme? So weird.
it's less. This is less for Twitch, more for YouTube at this stage. That's gonna be thinking about that. God, that's weird. Have you ever thought about that?
Wait, why does the characters never actually pull the trigger? They only like hover over it.
Animation? You mean?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's it.
So here's my question to you about like you potentially in the future streaming to like say you're streaming and you on every time you hit start stream you got 100 people watching you.
Only 100.
Well, let's just well, what's your thought process gonna be? You fucking asshole. Only 100.
I can doubt that. I'm the embodiment of chaos, dude. At this point.
So you would be the same exact way you are now, as you would be
If I had
to
a
1,000 people.
If I had that audience, I would tell them a message, and that message is: the world is gray. The world is never black and white, and stop telling yourself it is.
All right.
You look at the people that have done so many bad things, and even to the worst degree, and you tell them they're pitiful people and they deserve nothing better. Like, you basically spit on them. For what fucking reason? I see it the same way I see everything else. They fucked up. if they want to make amends, they do. What makes us any sort of position to yell at them about something that happened in their past? We fuck up. We're human. No matter how big or small, we still fuck up.
I'm so glad we could have differentiating mindsets about this stuff. This is, okay, I have to say this. This is how you know you can truly be friends with an individual. When you have differentiating mindsets on something and still be friends with them. Because I don't exactly 100% agree with you. Like, there's some, like, fuck, like... What? How do I word this? I don't think of them as mistakes. I just, like, abhorrent interactions with other people. I cannot forgive them. I guess you're a better man than me in that situation.
Deserve mercy. That's how I see it.
Okay.
Every person does. Cause think of it like this. Think of it like a little kid. You can tell a little kid that stove is hot, right?
Yeah.
Half of them are gonna listen. Half of them are going to touch the stove.
Okay.
We're going to walk up to the little kid and say, "Hey, yeah, you're a fucking idiot,"
Well.
and have that loom over people. People that wanna.
All right, I
That's
see where you're
something that
coming
they
off.
don't
I see what you're
allow.
saying now. I see. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
It's not the point of every action deserves a punishment, because that concept to me is also.
I don't agree with that at all. Like,
If someone fucked up and they want help, give them help, not punish them for it. It's stupid.
no, I agree with that completely. It's the
stupid.
individuals who are remorseless and shit like that.
Yeah, that's that. But
I-
to someone that
yeah.
wants to make
Okay.
amends,
I get
and
what
wants
you're
to-
saying now.
okay.
I must have been misconstruing a little bit of what you were saying. My apologies
Because
for that.
here's another concept I brought up, and I did this as a school speech. You don't know what path they had. You don't know what.
Oh
led
no,
them
I
down
completely
that
agree with that.
path. You don't know anything, but yet you have the right to judge them on that shit. Like, legitimately, I'm a hypocrite because I fucking do that shit too, and I'm trying to not do that.
Well, I know for a fact there's just like, I have a list of irredeemable, unforgivable, like the unforgivable. I'm trying to make a joke out of it as well as I say this. The unforgivable curses type of situation, like.
But even then, if you look at it at a different light, you could
True.
see something else.
True.
People want to look at this as like black and white. It's just like, if you dislike something, you instantly hate it, and if you love something, you instantly support it. Like,
All right. I okay.
the world is never going to be black and white, no matter how you look at it. This world is gray. This world has been through a lot of shit, and it will keep on going through a lot of shit. No matter what we do, no matter how we do it, but that gives us no right to treat a person less than human.
All right.
None.
I'm loving how we can go from the most mundane shit to the most philosophical shit during these races, during the podcast, basically.
Yeah, it's basically a podcast at this point.
I'm still gonna classify it as races till we're done with it, and then I'm gonna switch it over to being a podcast whenever we do this in the future. Because
It's basically a podcast.
the more I
to be
think about
honest.
it, the more I'm agreeing with you. We don't even pay attention to what the game actually is. Like, there's parts where I'm barely.
I'm like half of paying attention.
Yeah, well, like 25% maybe.
Yeah, 30.
Okay, 30. I'll give you 30. I'll meet you in the middle. Oh shit.
But it's just, and some people are like this, and this is actually a genuine thing. Some people don't realize what they've done until they have time to stop and think about it.
That's a big thing for my thing. If people would just take a minute to think before they acted.
But that thing is also kind of a two-sided coin. Think about something. Maybe they did think about what they did, and they said, well, it's not going to blow up and get this big. Maybe it was something minor that they did that turned into something major. Something that kind of led them down a path.
I love
like
it, and
people
there's
that
two
have
sides to every
addiction.
coin too. One person's minor is another person's major.
Yeah. The thing is, like, some people could smoke a cigarette and never get addicted. Some people smoke one and they're hooked for life. That's how people work. Not every single person is cut from the same cloth, has the same past, and has the same kind of way that they were raised. They all had different mindsets and different ways that they thought. And yet, we just almost feel entitled to say, well, I don't like this, and I don't like what you did, so I hate you for it. Or, I will never trust you. And if we're going to move forward as a society, we need to get rid of that stigma. We need to accept that people that want to reform themselves can.
We especially have to get rid of it, considering some of those same people that are judging others have done the same exact things in other situations. Like, that's the big thing, though. It's not just the judging other people, it's the judging other people whilst they themselves have made similar mistakes.
I'm
As
going to
well.
save because it's 9 o'clock.
Oh,
Yeah, it goes by fast.
true,
We can
true.
still continue the
I'm gonna save it
podcast,
too. Might as well.
But
I'll probably have to end up reloading, but whatever.
it's hard to break out of that because we get taught from a young age.
We
We
get
get
taught
taught
from a
that-
young age that the word, like, this is right, this is wrong.
People that do this are bad people.
Even
Don't
now,
trust them.
I'm like agreeing with what you're saying, but at the same time, there's a part of my brain that's like, nope, 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 and it's like, it's.
You can't trust.
I'm
those
gonna blame.
people.
I'm gonna blame like societal views for this mindset that I currently am stuck in. There's a part
And
of
the
me
thing
that
is, I remember saying this, and I still kind of stand by it. There's no need for prison. If you
see.
really think about it,
No, you're not. Now, this is. I'm gonna
No,
agree
no,
with you, but
what
I'm
I'm
gonna
saying is this,
expand
what
on
I'm saying
that.
is this.
I'm gonna expand
What-
on that.
my entire philosophy, I did this for my speech, is if people want to get help that are in a prison, we should be able to help them.
Prisons are not rehabilitation centers.
They are far from it.
Yeah, they
They
make
will
they
ruin-
make
They make it
people
worse.
into hardened criminals. You're 100% right with this situation.
They make it worse. And on top of that, you're telling me this: a kid that say a kid stole a candy bar, right? He went to jail. Let's just throw that out there.
that kid who went to jail ends up.
Could get worse.
Yes, exactly.
And say if he has like mental, like, you know, he doesn't know that he has a mental problem or something like that, or he had like a bad childhood or shit like that, right? Something traumatic that led him down that path.
Yeah.
And you're just making it worse.
Yep.
And you're just saying, you're just a thief. You're just a thief. You don't deserve no respect. When in reality, it's this.
This aspect, this I get exactly what you're saying, and I 100% agree with you on this one.
It is
Because like
so bullshit.
people that get like sent to prison for addictions that they have, drug addictions that they have, or people that get sent to prison for mundane bullshit.
That happened once, and that I like to even point that out. It happened once. 20 years later, they got sent to prison for it. Like, what's the point now?
I mean, they have a statute of limitations on certain crimes, and that's
But
what's
some are indefinite.
yeah, murder. That's a big one.
Oh, yeah, no, shut up.
The way you said no shit. Well, that's the well. Fuck you. Yeah, I meant to say that in a way of like, well, obviously the statute of limitations doesn't exist for murder.
And I was like, yeah, no shit.
And the way you said no shit was so insulting, though. you
like,
have
you
a way.
dumb-
You have
why?
a way to say things in just a way to make it feel like, so horrible. Like, oh,
I know
made me
how to
feel.
get- I
You
know how
made me
to be
feel like
hated.
such an idiot.
I know how to be hated. I know sarcasm.
It's not even that. It's just, oh, I'm so glad we can have these conversations.
But the
We
thing
went
is, like,
from talking about This XCOM, this world XCOM actually existing, to this philosophical shit. This is definitely. I might just change this whole thing from race to podcast, because at this time we are trying to see who beats the game faster. But I might change this video to being a
at that
podcast.
point, I'm just gonna play on rookie. I'm just gonna have fun.
Okay, I'm gonna stick with what I got going on. I'm gonna probably change the title.
Wait, okay, how far are you in?
I don't. I'm at the point to where I think I have
How many chosen?
all 3 of the chosen active. I can hunt down the warlock and kill them. I can almost hunt down and kill the hunter, and then soon the assassin will be able to be hunted down and killed. And I'm getting ready to start going after the rulers.
How many rulers?
All 3 of them. I need to go after.
I'm trying to think. What handicap I could give myself. I'm on rookie.
I mean,
I can't use plasma weapons.
you get a trophy or achievement or whatever for beating the game with grade 1 equipment, so...
Maybe do that? Wait, no, you can't do that on rookie though. It has to be on veteran or higher.
What?
That trophy.
Oh, it does. You can just play it with these rules we have established. For the time being, think about it over the weekend, I guess. Maybe message me when you think of something on Discord. But yeah,
maybe I have to beat the game twice. That makes sense.
On rookie with this standard, beat the game twice while I have to beat it once.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we're doing it like that.
Alright, I play it pretty slow and I'm okay. Sure.
Yep, I have to beat it twice.
Alright, that'll be our little quote-unquote race while we have a podcast going on. I'm gonna put this in 2 different playlists. I'm gonna put it in the race against you playlist. I'm gonna put it in a podcast playlist that I'm gonna create whenever this goes live.
But it's just kind of what's weird is a lot of stuff that you don't think of, you start thinking of when it happens to you. You start it's like how the Grinch stole Christmas. Your heart grows 2 times bigger. And you start having empathy for those people.
I mean,
a businessman that's been rich his entire life that spits on the poor. The day he becomes poor, he starts realizing shit.
True.
Don't focus on what is around us. We focus on what's in front of us. And we will keep moving forward. And like people like saying, I don't want to be involved. And we've developed a society where we're in our own bubble, and anyone that gets near it that could potentially pop it, we tell them basically to get the fuck away. And we continue staying in our little bubble.
I love these philosophical thought, like these conversations that really make you think. I love them.
And I'm so young and I'm already talking about this shit.
And there's a lot of people that are a lot more mature, in quotation marks, than people would give credit for just based on a number they give to their, like, I was always told, oh, you're so mature for your age. When I was like 12, 13, 14, people would say stuff like how mature I was for my age, and it's like, it's I think it's less I'm being mature and more I'm thinking more outside that bubble, like you're saying. I think the bubble, we think more and more outside of it to a certain extent. The bubble still exists, but we think outside of it more and more and more as we grow up mentally.
We will do something with it, but we don't.
Yeah.
It's a very good analogy for how people are now.
You know what we're gonna have to do?
Huh?
We're gonna have to come up with a title for this podcast shit we're coming up with.
Spit shit, eat shit. I don't know, that could.
I mean, I kind of like where your mind, the tracks your mind is on. Maybe not so crass. We'll have to discuss a little bit further in depth. Mind you, this is literally something that you just came up with today. I love how the podcast joke has become an actual thing of like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do a podcast.
Yeah, 2 words. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Words to live by, honestly.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it. But so all the way back, rotating all the way back to Guilty Gear. You should get it.
I will write that on my short list.
One thing that it's crazy. So it's 20 gigs, and it has a gallery full of music,
Oh shit.
art. I want to say 4 or 5 hours of cutscene,
Ooh.
and online.
Obviously. Good
And it
online?
runs smoothly.
Okay.
It's insane. Like it's coming from. It's insane how it's only like 19 gigs.
I'm gonna have to message, or have you message War Dog to see if they can get into this conversation next time we do this. Just fucking.
But it's like one thing that I get complimented on like a lot is I'm a very easy person to talk to.
I would like to think I'm that as well. You sometimes come out of left field with these that's not an insult, this is actually a really good compliment. You come out of left fields with these topics of discussion that are like,
You never really thought about it.
well, it's less never really thinking about it and more never really thinking about it in the way that you're presenting the conversation. You know what I mean? Like it's
people like say a subject only gets like shown in the bad light.
there's the box, there's outside the box, and then there's your perspective.
My perspective is just like, I know, I think of this shit because I think of how we could be better. We are far from perfect, and that's just the truth. But we really need to get out of these ideologies that were developed in the fucking Roman times. Of just,
I think there's too many societal thoughts that are stuck in the past like that, like too far in the past.
It's like, yeah, we could say, well, it's not at the stream anymore, but I mean, like, that doesn't mean shit at this point. Just because it's, like, really, pick your poison. Would you rather be stuck in prison for the rest of your life, or be ostracized by everyone around you?
Technically, they're one and the same.
Not entirely. Prison, you have a home. Ostracized, you got no one. Ostracized is worse than prison.
I mean,
and it all depends on what you did.
People get sent to prison all the time that actually didn't do it, and because they will sometimes get sent to prison for something they didn't do, get found innocent, and that will still hang over their head. And the evidence will show they 100% didn't do what the crime.
A movie
that
is great about the subject we're talking about, of someone that never did it, but had all the evidence pointed to them. Shawshank Redemption.
Yep. Well, not even just that. Also, if I'm not mistaken, is it the Green Mile?
Yeah, Green Mile is good.
Yeah, that's another film that's, I think, up there as well. With
But that was more based on a different thing. I'm not saying because TOS.
Yeah.
Yep.
Still similar concept though.
Very gentle. Like very wholesome.
Similar concept to what we're talking about though.
Yeah. A great Tom Hanks movie. Seriously, watch it. Honestly, great. But we need to get that out of our heads. We need to understand that. Look, you fucked up. That's that. Let the person move on with their life. But we're also asking a collection.
It's actually fucking hilarious you mentioned this because I was just thinking about it. And you want to hear something really fucked up? Do you know, when I say this name, I want you to tell me if you recognize this name, Amanda Knox?
Nope.
Amanda Knox is an individual who was wrongfully convicted of a murder that she didn't commit in Italy twice. They didn't, the evidence was incorrect. It was obviously incorrect. They said she killed her roommate, which she didn't do. And finally, after 8 years of being locked away in Italy, the real evidence got out and she was released and she's back in America. And now they're like publishing articles and stuff about her story and releasing a movie about her story. And she was like, she had no say in whether or not this occurred. So they're just like taking her story and running with it and like profiting off of her misfortune. And
I think what's also funny, and this is true, people that were wrongfully convicted that suffered 20-30 years, the court gives them like $300 and moves on.
yeah,
You're
in some
telling me
cases.
30 years of someone's life is worth money to you? That's sad.
Like you ruin somebody's life and you're gonna, even if you just give them $20 million or $1 million per year
It doesn't,
wrongfully
like,
convicted, that doesn't matter. You can't give them back those 30 years. That's
You
gone.
can't give.
That's it.
And say if they were a parent, a father.
And the
you took
worst
away
part
the
is, even
one
if they are, like, even if the evidence does come out that, oh no, they didn't do it, 100%
Sometimes you
innocent,
just keep them in.
the individuals will still view them sometimes as if they are the criminal and they were like, oh, they got away with it. And it's like, why?
Or say sometimes that they do something while they are doing their sentence, and actually,
Oh, that
'cause they
just
don't
proves it.
care.
Yeah, that just proves that they did the crime at that point. I'm rolling my eyes as I say that.
It's like, the thing is, if you're a father and you get wrongfully convicted and you suffer, say 20 years, and you were never able to see your kid grow up, there's nothing in the world
That could,
you could give
yeah,
to that person.
to make up for it.
That person will look at that judge and look at everyone else and say, you showed me true hatred. Like,
Damn.
I use this word loosely, hate. That person has a right to hate the people they convinced.
But here's what's really amazing and mind-boggling to me. Those are the most forgiving individuals. They're just happy to be out.
No, they're just like, yep, I'm out, cool.
I'm out. I'm this is what I wanted. This is all I wanted. And they got what they wanted.
I've seen some people cry that they were proven innocent.
Yeah.
And that made me
Shit
wanna
can be
cry.
fucked up. Shit can be so fucked up sometimes, but there is
Or
pockets
so-
of this lightness in this dark, you know?
The stronger the light, the stronger the darkness.
I'm the type of person though that likes to do what I do, i.e. streaming like this, to potentially cheer people up and bring a smile to someone's face. My whole thing when I first started this was, even if I'm just entertaining one person, I'm happy.
You just see the wind-up monkey with the shambles in the background. Yeah, too.
I mean, hell, it's half a joke, half me being serious, because yeah, no, it's even if I like
know,
the dream is to
people
make
that-
this into an
okay, so
actual
people that
career
start-
where I don't have to spend summers going up and down a ladder fixing people's ACs and stuff like that. That's the dream, to where I can
I
just
will
use
say
this as a
this.
job. If it never
I will say
happens,
this.
okay.
It happens, but there's some people that just say, I'm going to become famous as soon as I start streaming or something. Like, that's their motive.
I knew it
And
was
then they
like
get
that.
tired of it.
I love this shit. The only reason I have been like not streaming as much as often is because of how tired I've been. That's why I've been like, all right, I'm just gonna take a
fair, but blame the fucking heat for that shit.
yeah, the heat and what I've been doing out in the heat, going up on the roofs,
Oh, that
having
was
to take the ladder. It's like
Bad, like,
from 11 to 6 p.m. From 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's fucking exhausting when you're out in that heat like that.
yeah, and then you come home and you're just like, oh,
I
have
don't
to
feel
stream.
like being entertaining right now, and that'll show. I'm pretty sure my short videos, my like hour to 2 hour long videos from last week and a little bit this week,
If you
will show.
don't feel like you're going to be yourself,
Probably shouldn't even
don't
stream.
that day.
Yeah,
Don't stream that day.
I probably won't in the future.
Because
But like,
people will say, is something wrong? Did something happen? People notice.
and what's funny is I'm not like most people. Someone say that, I'll just be like, I'm just tired. I'll say what's up. I mean, hell, that
Every
day where
time
I
that they
didn't.
say
That,
tired, I
oh.
just, yeah, I'm tired of my shit.
Anyways,
Such bad spots. Shit.
but no, when I first started this, I never like. That's always like, oh, there's a part of my brain. I was like, that'd be so cool if I had like streaming to 500 people, 1,000 people every day. If it happens, cool, but I'm not. That's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I enjoy playing video games for other people, and apparently there's a lot of people that have, when they show up to my streams, enjoy what I do, and I'm not happy with that.
And I tend to break your streams also.
True. You're one of those people that I would say enjoys what I do.
And ironically, I just break games because the game is like, I'm gonna break now. I'm like, cool.
That's a hell of a thought process.
Because it's like you.
Not even you
True.
breaking games and stuff like that, but the idea of like a channel meme, potentially a future emote, exists because I've streamed, you showed up to that stream, and
Broke it.
it just so happened to click, and after it clicked, it was like hit the ground running.
And then it clicked again, and my character
Yep.
survives with 1 HP, and
And
then that
then-
also started the fucking
Yep.
RP shit for Xcom.
Oh, I'll never forget. Oh,
And then that last moment of
that
for him,
the first time
you cried. You cried.
to
for
this
that.
fucking game. It was the first time I beat the game ever. First time ever beat it. And because of the roleplay, I was like thinking about interactions between the characters that were never gonna happen again. I think that's what really kicked off me wanting to play Dungeons and Dragons
Ironically,
too.
it never happened again. 'Cause
Yeah,
one of them
Pokemon Master. Yeah, they haven't showed up for quite some time, but maybe they're busy doing something.
And then the great rivalry of War Dog versus me.
That's hilarious.
That started, and it's still running.
Yeah, I know, it's great.
All because I hit him with a leg.
The last thing I'm gonna say really fast about this stuff before calling it for an evening is how phenomenal it has been being able to just sit back, do this, and have random people, and sometimes people that have been regulars for quite some time show up and just chill, have a good time. It's awesome. I'm happy with the growth of the kingdom. That's so weird saying that like that. But at the same time, I love the theme that I got going on.
I like the theme I have. I just can't say it because it's also like kind to us in a weird way.
That's fine.
In a
I get
weird way.
what
it
you're saying.
is.
Hey, honestly, the reason my whole theme came into existence was partly because I know people enjoy stuff like that, like they enjoy uniform. Hey, what do you call your viewers? Well, I call viewers the citizens, and I call subscribers guardians. I think I came up with a new name. Like tier 1 are basic guardians. Tier 2, don't know, sentinels maybe. Tier 3, dragons, whatever. That is for the future, obviously. Do you think about stuff like that for your stream, or do you just like whatever?
I don't really think about it. I think about what's going to be entertaining.
Well, I
What's
think
gonna
about
be fun
my
about?
brain goes like a mile a minute. I'm thinking about that shit. I'm thinking about what's going to be entertaining. I'm thinking about what to say
Like
when stuff happens.
a part of me tells me I want to start streaming Guilty Gear,
Do it.
just because I'm starting to get into the ranks that other streamers are in.
Honestly, go for it, man.
And it's a game I'm picking up incredibly fast.
Who knows? Maybe in the future you'll be like one of the big name esports Guilty Gear Strive tournament winners. And then I could brag that I'm best friends with can't even say it with a straight fucking face. Not that you wouldn't possibly get there, but just because I'm not that type of person. I could never do that.
A person that, what I like calling those people is friends that come back from dormant. Quote unquote friends.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, so I'll tell you what, I'll cheer you on for sure.
But
I look forward to potentially watching you kick like some ass in tournaments now.
I mean, I showed you screenshots of what my progress.
I
It's
know.
insane.
That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm not saying it in conjunction. I'm not saying it just like, oh yeah, I look forward to you being in tournaments. Ha ha ha. I'm saying it because legitimately, I would love to see you fucking sit down, go through Twitch one day, come to across like Evo, click on it, and then fucking watch you fighting somebody. That would be.
God, my pop off would be insane.
That would. Oh, could you? You know what would be like? Being able to like look up biggest pop off, biggest fighting pop offs, and you're one of them. Like that's another thing. That you know what? Okay.
You know I would have a crazy pop off.
I've said this before. I don't know if I've said this on stream, but I'm gonna say this again. This is what I'm gonna end it with. This is my my part of the conversation. Then I'll leave it to you, and then I'll wrap up. Or then I'll leave the Discord call, and then I'll do my little ending spiel. That moment where you sit back and you go, all right, I've made it. I'm happy. It's not gonna be if I have 30,000 people watching me every day. It's not gonna be when I could buy a house or some bullshit like that from streaming. It's not gonna be anything like that. The moment of like I'm happy, like well, not that I'm not happy now with what I'm doing, but the moment of like, yes, I've made it as a content creator, an entertainer, whatever you want to call this, is gonna be the moment when I'm sat here and
You reflect.
something I've created, a representation of my character, or something like that, becomes something like becomes some canon thing in a game or something like that. Like my little dragon tombstone thing. If that representation ever gets into a game or something like that, and have people play that game and go, "Oh, this is King Tombs' thing," that will be that moment of like, "Oh," you know what I mean? Like that aha moment, I guess. Do you have any moments like that? Aside from being on the stage at Evo?
There's something humans want, and that's something that I feel like I've already achieved. Humans want to create a legacy. Once they've died and perished, they want to be remembered for something. And to be completely honest, I know I have helped some people. I know I made an impact on their lives. And saying this with a straight face, I know I created that legacy. I don't think of the major things of, Joan of Arc or stuff like that. I don't care about how many people know it. I care that I did something. I care that even if my life was long or dull, I know I had an impact on someone. And I know that if I wasn't there for them, they could have went down a darker path. I helped them follow a path that it's going to be better for them. And understanding all of that, knowing I made an impact just onto one person. I know what I've done. Every person has regret to it. And honestly, I I I reflect on it. But with what I want and what I seek, it's just that sense of closure that I know I did good. I know I wasn't the most terrible, wicked person. I know I've helped someone. And I know for a fact that if I do pass away, there will be people that, even if they knew everything about me, would still say that that person was a good person. That's all I care about.
That's awesome.
Truly.
That's awesome.
And I feel like a lot of people need to start thinking, like, just think about that. Because you don't, once, just because you won an Evo title, that's great. Yeah, you made an impact. Fantastic. But what made me smile is when a person's going through heavy shit, whether they're getting bullied or not, and they come to me and talk to me, and I tell them exactly what they need to hear. And they say, "Thank you, man, you really helped me." That is what makes me feel great.
Cool.
because I feel like that's what being human is, helping people. Oh yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, okay, my whole quarter, but
Eh.
God, it's so crazy to think about. I'm so young.
Eh.
Holy shit.
I mean, it's one of those things where like I'm still young too. I'm 26. I'm not.
I mean, my birthday's coming up.
Oh. Oh.
No, August 16th.
August what?
August 16th.
Nice.
And 16 is my lucky number because 8 times 2 is 16, and it's on the 16th day. And since August is the 8th month, 8 times 2 is 16. All basically just 16. It's great.
Well, see, it's kind of funny because the 13 for me, April 13th, and it's just 13. I like the number 13. I wasn't born on a Friday the 13th. I was born on a Thursday, the 13th. But yeah, yeah, I really don't have anything else to contribute. That was like kind of very good closing comments. Mine was a little bit more selfish, I guess you could say. But it was more in line with like I am happy with the idea that I potentially helped people out like that. I'm super happy about that. Like I'm pleased. But mine was more like less the legacy I leave and more the like, hey, you know what I mean? I don't know how else to describe it.
It's like it's the best way of saying you could die with a smile on your face.
Oh, I mean, I'm in the mindset that yeah, that's how I am right now. That's how I am right now. But the reason I was bringing up you've made it when you like when my avatar is in a video game or something like that, or a character I create is in a video game officially. It's
or
less
like with fighting game streamers of this skin is correlated to you.
Yeah, that it's more of like the reason I went with that route is because like I'm already living the dream. Anybody that shows up that I've talked to and has made, if I made their day even marginally better, I'm happy. Like I've said before. Like I said before, if I've only ever had one person watching my shit, being okay with that and being happy with that, I'm happy. But like, I had this conversation with my parents a couple days ago of like, they were asking me something random of like, when would you, like, what point would you be like, oh yeah, you've made it? And the reason I came up with this is because recently I've been seeing like character representations of like certain streamers having certain skins in certain video games or certain characters in video games. It's like that's so fucking cool, you know, to have like that existing.
I mean, I already got my wish. There was one, so this teacher.
Well, we don't have to like if it's just bringing this up, but if it's
not really personal.
Okay.
But they wrote a note for like every student that was in the class, basically. And my note at the end of it says, "You are a good person."
Oh, that's awesome.
And that hits me so hard that you think about all the bad stuff you've done, but at the end of the day, people still think you're a good person.
That's
even
awesome.
though that even if they don't know any of it, you can still say, "I'm a good person. I just fuck up a lot." That's what I like saying.
I mean, everybody has their fuck
But like
ups.
for real, Tomb, how crazy would my pop off be? Like, just imagine.
No, that's one of the reasons why I kind of want to. I'm almost at the mindset that like I kind of want to like not force you to do it, but push you into potentially doing it if you're that like yeah I'm really good at the game, and I'm like yes do tournaments please do so. I want to see you potentially kick the ass of individuals that like are a household name to certain individuals.
Dude,
you know what I mean? Oh, like that, like to hear a caster shouting your name. Like your username, I want to hear a caster shout your username. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a person that's ever going to be into esports and stuff like that, so I don't ever expect a caster to shout my username. But I want to hear that.
I will say this, and I know how cocky this sounds. I think Guilty Gear Strive is a game
I mean, it's less of a cockiness, more of a confidence thing, you know?
because I climbed from floor 5 to floor 8 in 3 days.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the little screenshot right now, and it's
I've and trust me, floor 8, totally different game. But how I learned in that game is insane. I learned how to fight the players, but it takes like 5, 10, maybe 15 or 20 matches, and then I learned their mindset.
like just looking at it, there's only 10 floors.
No, that's 11.
Oh, 11, my bad. There's 11 floors. You're on floor 8 out of 11.
Well, I'm on floor 7, but I can get back to 8 real easy.
The point still stands of like
I made it there in 3 days.
suddenly you realize that only the strong remain, every one of them a formidable foe, just like you. That like rating update thing, that probably feels really fucking good to hear or see.
It does.
And like it's one of those things of it's not cocky when it's the truth. That's more confidence in my mind. And I definitely am definitely in your corner rooting for you to pursue whatever you want to pursue regarding this if you feel up to it. If you want to do it, go for it, man.
I tried Smash Bros, it didn't work. I tried everything else, it doesn't work.
But this is the one that just clicked.
Yeah, it feels right. And it's like, even if I don't make it to EVO, dude, I still know I could get like top 10.
Hell, I mean, there's a lot more competitions than the mainstream ones too. And that's how you start out. You start off with the local ones, then you start branching out, and then all of a sudden you're at the big one. The big one!
And I can imagine basically people just standing there and they feel weightless, just not believing what they're seeing.
Oh, this is gonna be. You're getting me all excited. Well, I'm. It's a weird combination of I'm excited, but at the same time, exhausted. Oh, excuse me, that was gross. That was a weird combination of ribs and pizza. Anyways,
Not really gross though,
I mean, yeah,
to be honest.
yeah, it was really gross coming back up like that in burp form. Yeah, it was pretty fucking gross.
I don't think it would have been. It's kind of there. But basically, I have never had a download basically, and I never had someone rage quit against me. And like I said, having that in a span of 3 days.
Had you go,
Huh.
I can see the code.
It felt great actually having someone rage quit against me. It was annoying, but felt great because I'm that skilled.
That's awesome.
I'm that skilled that I fucking made someone rage quit. Because I beat him first match. And then the second one, because it was like a set of 3 that you could do. The second one, I perfect him. And he just, wait. He disconnected.
How many matches are there?
Game. You could do 3 for each person.
Okay.
So it's like, and it's not that surprising that if you do 3, there's a chance you either get promoted or demoted. But after a while, after everything evens out, you usually have to win like 5 in a row to get promoted. And right now, since I played against a character I really know, I'm on a 3-win streak. So
Nice.
high chance I'm probably gonna get promoted in the next 2 matches, which I'm kind of confident I could get those and get thrown back into the rank that demoted me by 2. And basically it's just like, yeah, I'm back, bitches.
Last thing, you're literally gonna make me start watching Guilty Gear Strive streamers to see if I ever come across one of them fighting you.
And then
Unless
hear what
you're
the fuck
streaming
they
it.
say.
Unless you're streaming it.
I know, like, people will also say it's like, oh well, is there a game that you'll get viewers? I know I'll get viewers if I stream this.
It's funny because there's games that I know I would get viewers into, but I don't feel like playing that game right now, so I'm not going to.
But then again, I'm also not very like engaging to chat because my brain's like, focus. I have to
For
like,
games like that, you probably don't have to be that engaging. Have like take a couple of minute breaks when you like after you're done with a fight, and like the rest recuperation time, and then acknowledge chat, and then go from there.
Because
That's how I would view it.
what's funny is, like I said, the game mostly has metal, right?
Uh,
So you know what I do? I blast the music full volume,
ah.
and I'm just in a zone.
I mean, hell, you could literally start the stream and just not have a mic on. I mean, I've noticed a couple of streams that don't have microphones,
They
and
watch,
they still,
they watch it for the gameplay.
yeah, they still get decent viewership.
And to be completely fair, the top three, like 10, 9, 8, that's what people normally see. They don't see people in 4-7 or lower. And there's people that are still down there and they're just enjoying the game. And I decided to sit down and watch a 4-1 match. They're not bad mechanically. They're just bad.
Experience-wise.
No, not that. In the headspace.
Oh, okay.
Because it's footsies. That's what really matters in this game. It doesn't matter about the longest string you get. It matters on being able to know your opponent and to find out constantly using different options.
That's awesome.
And it is very common because I am not good mechanically. I even fuck up my basic shit. But I'm up here because I could play it that way. Because
It's
don't-
like a weird
if I had-
strategic-based fighting game. That's weird.
that's what every fighting game is. If you really boil it down to the high levels.
Oh god,
And-
I've never looked at a fighting game like that. Now that I have, I wonder how I'm gonna play the next fighting game that I play. Oh, that's
when
weird.
you're low levels, it doesn't matter that
Well,
much.
I know you say it doesn't matter, but anytime I have something like this come across my mind, it's something that I always think about in the future.
But in the
Anyways.
high levels, there's this thing, like there's just a different raw energy you feel. And the sense of, what's the Guilty Gear especially, just blasting metal through your ears, constantly focused on the match, just everything kind of just sinks for me.
That's awesome.
And it's insane. I
Ugh.
think I should show you a match if I could.
I mean,
Like one day we're just chatting in Discord, I could just stream you one of my replays.
go for it.
'Cause
Like
that would
seriously,
be-
if you're feeling confident, you're feeling happy, just try it. You never know till you try regarding both the streaming
But
of this game
I'm not gonna
and
say
the
this
tournament
like,
stuff.
yeah, I'm not gonna say, oh well, I'm gonna make it to heaven next week. No, I don't believe in that shit. Cause that's like, okay, you're
That's
setting yourself
being
you're
like
setting
cocky.
yourself up for failure at that point.
Yeah. What you're
Just
doing
say,
is just
I'm
playing to
gonna-
have fun, and you're skillful at having fun.
I'm gonna get there eventually. My goal was day 1, I want to make it to floor 8. I didn't want to make it to stairway. I just want to make it to the red ranks, and I achieved it.
Nice.
So now I want to reach heaven. I want
I
to
mean-
reach the celestial floors.
If I wake up early and I see you streaming this shit, I'll probably stop in, especially on the weekends.
And you're gonna be like, what the fuck is going on?
Hey, like I said, I wasn't joking when I said I'll be in your corner rooting for you regardless of what you're doing, because that's got me all excited for it.
Listen, here's something that's weird. I can't even do supers. I'm not mechanically not skilled in that.
Hey, what's funny about that? What's funny about that? You've only been playing this game for 3 days. Eventually, you'll pick it up.
And I'm trying to learn it.
Practice makes perfect.
Granted, the
this-
top tier guy has an easy input for super, and it's a grab super.
Oh, gross.
That does full screen.
Gross.
That does half your health.
Fucking gross.
Every super does half your.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes it a little bit better. But
Yeah.
it's still fucking gross.
I mean, he's also the only character that has a one-hit KO. Basically, people have learned to people have learned to string it to do from 100 to 0.
Oof.
But you
Oof.
need both your super bars
Okay.
to do Roman
No, it's
cancels.
probably gonna be rare to see that.
Rare to see, but not impossible. And I have done a 40% combo.
That's actually
Because-
fucking really good.
When in reality, it's like not that hard to like pull off.
I mean, if you gave me the controller, I wouldn't be able to do that. I don't think I'd be able to do that after a week.
I mean, like I said, anyone that knows my aggressive style, you know this especially by playing like Battle Royales, like Hyperscape. You played with me. Titanfall.
Yeah. Now that you're saying that,
I have
yeah.
one thing that I think is going to be very good in Guilty Gear. I have this thing I say,
Unpredictability.
that, and I don't let people breathe.
Ah, okay. Yeah. No.
I don't.
Yep.
I try not to. And that method worked up until floor 8.
Now
And
you
then I
have to
learn how
read
play
like
passive.
yeah. Now
I
you
have
gotta
to play passive.
you'll
I
get
have to play.
you'll
Like,
get the hang of it.
It starts, yeah. It starts being this sense of a tug of war. Is this person on the aggressive now? You have to find an opening to get
Yep, I was just about to
yourself on
say
the
you have to find the chink of their armor, when to just pound them with the sledgehammer, and when to guard with the shield.
And it's just this tug of war. And my god, is it the funnest thing to play.
And that right there is the best part, because I've never heard of anybody going to tournaments and winning tournaments or anything like that on a game that they can't stand playing or they don't have fun playing.
Don't do it in the first place.
Exactly.
They've dropped it by then.
Exactly. That's
But the thing is, like,
the people that have the most fun with the game will learn
I
it
haven't
like the back
with
of
that
their
one
hand.
character. With that one character, I have never lost in my ranks. Up until a level 10, pulled that character on me.
All right.
A rank
That's
10.
awesome. Okay.
And I got my ass handed to me by that guy.
But I bet you learned a
you know
lot
what?
just from that
I
one
wasn't
fight.
bad. I did it 5 times.
I bet you learned a lot though from that fight.
I lost every match, but I learned. And I said, I
Yep.
want to be like that.
That's awesome. Oh, you got me all
I
excited.
do-
You got
I
me
don't
excited to
think-
watch something of you doing this now. That should go to
Just
show
look
you.
Up, like, just look up Guilty Gear for fuck's sake.
I'm
It
going
is the
to.
craziest shit to watch.
After I can get you to shut the fuck up.
Easier said than done.
I know it is, because I'm over here, I'm trying not to yawn, and I am, and I'm looking at the thing, I'm like, I've spent 40 minutes on the stream ending scene. You're an asshole. You did that on purpose. You fucking
No,
asshole.
I was actually yawning.
It made me yawn.
I love how you're just like, I'm going to have some etiquette, and I just spit at that etiquette. Like,
I know.
What the fuck are you doing?
I'm trying to
You
be
know what you're
nice, and
doing?
now my niceness is like, alright, I gotta try and nip this in the bud, because we're gonna keep going. Oh. I do look forward to the fact that we've turned this race into a podcast because of you. Another thing to blame your ass for.
Oh, well, it's not the first thing you have.
I know, it won't be the last either.
No, most definitely not.
But yeah, this was a fun conversation. I had a hell of a time. Don't remember half the stuff we talked about though, but I'll have to rewatch the.
I will also say,
pod.
if you love metal, listen to the soundtrack.
Trust me, I'm gonna be watching. Like, I'm probably gonna go to bed with.
Matt's made a lot of videos on Guilty
I
Gear.
was just about to say I'm probably gonna go to bed with a Maximilian dude video on in the background while I go to sleep. But yeah, no, I had a blast and a half. I look forward to continuing these conversations in the future, regardless of whether it's on stream or off stream. And yeah,
Talk to you later.
I will talk to you later as well.
Poof.
Bye bye. That was fun. Long conversation about so many different things, and I like that idea about the podcast. I really do. I didn't even think about that being this way, but it is. Like, just have a game going on in the background while we bullshit about whatever. Maybe I'll have to start looking up things to talk about. I have my handy dandy notebook here. This one of like topics to talk about. I could have actually used this. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna write stuff down over the weekend for next week to discuss. And if we can get through all the conversations, cool. But if we can't, oh well. We technically got through one of those conversations already. Not exactly what I wanted to talk about, but anyways, we'll get to that when we get to that. regardless, if you manage to make it this far and you enjoyed the adventure and you haven't already, did I say join the adventure? If you enjoyed the adventure and you haven't already, become a citizen of the kingdom today via subscribing on YouTube or utilizing my streamer links in the description below to follow me on all my other associated sites, including but not limited to Twitch, where you can follow me over there and catch me when I go live at 8 p.m. EST, EDT every weekday. If you want to help out the kingdom's growth even further beyond that, you can always leave a like on the video and comment if you feel so inclined to do so in order to help out with the algorithm, and share the video with a friend in order to get that many more eyes on the kingdom. Until next time, take care and have a good one. This is King Tombs 456 signing out. Bye bye.